And you know what? We're going to go ahead and hit the ground running hard because SummerSlam is coming to you this weekend. 2 nights. We got 12 matches. And we got to talk about the build-up. We got to talk about the excitement level and all that, because I'm not going to lie to you. We're going to hit it hard with this one, ladies and gentlemen. When it comes to SummerSlam 2026, for me personally, I hope this serves as a wake-up call to WWE, just because you have a strong card. And in my opinion, I think SummerSlam 2026 is a better card than WrestleMania 42. I don't know how these guys feel about it. They're going to give their opinions, but on paper, this is an objectively better card than WrestleMania. And yet, for some reason, this feels less exciting. There's less buzz for this show than there was for WrestleMania. I mean, on paper, you would think, as good as this is, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Oba Femi, Brock Lesnar, Hell in a Cell, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins, which is a WrestleMania main event that we're getting to close the show, this would just blow up. Tickets would be flying off the shelf. They're struggling to sell tickets. Very little buzz, not much excitement to the show. And that is because WWE has gotten away from getting people excited. They have decided to trade in storytelling for constant ads, for TKO revenue, and everybody's seeing it now. Triple H just did an interview with Busty Open Radio where he said, you know what, guys? You guys shouldn't blame the people backstage. You should blame the wrestlers. I miss the days where the heat was on the wrestlers and not the writers. Well, when you do WWE Unreal and put your face on everything constantly, when things go wrong, they're not going to look at the wrestlers. They're going to look at you, Game. Right. They're going to look at you, Bruce Pritchard. Right. They're going to look at you, writers. Well, unfortunately, that's where we are with WWE. And a lot of people are just not excited about this show. That being said, I'm going to give it to Steven Sandridge here, the Marked by Wrestling. How are we feeling about SummerSlam when it comes to you? And are you excited about the show?
My name is Marked by Wrestling, and I am the advocate for the devil in this conversation.
Here we go.
I think that the attitude towards SummerSlam, while underwhelming, is wholly overblown. Okay. Your top 3 matches, let's say Punk, Cody, Roman, Seth, Oba, Brock.
Right.
You've got Oba, Brock is less exciting because we've already seen it. It was more exciting because it was the first time. They did a great job, hardly ever letting them, do anything other than create havoc. Roman and Seth, I'm going to save my thoughts about that one until we talk to the match, because I do have feelings about that one, and that's the one that tests my patience. Punk and Cody, I think, is actually a good story. I think it's a maybe not a master class. It's a college level class in subtlety and simmering. And I think too many people online are listening to the engagement farming trolls whose job it is to tell you how to feel about this show. And for what it's worth, I listened to the Busted Open thing today. And what I heard Hunter say, not to point the finger at anybody else, but the way I received his comment on that was, I missed the day when the heat was on the wrestlers and not on the talent. And there is a bit of and we can point the finger at whoever we want to. We can point the finger at creative. We can point the finger at the existence of Unreal, but this attitude existed before Unreal. That there is a whole lot of culture, especially with internet wrestling fans like us, among us, that we want to be the Stephen A. Smiths of the wrestling world more than we want to be fans. And Triple H is maybe not the person to be telling people that. That might be reserved for people like me, which if you guys are seeing me for the first time, it's nice to meet you guys. Thank you for letting me come into your world a little bit. But something I say at the end of every single broadcast I do is that believing makes wrestling better. I enjoy wrestling so much more when I sit down and try to take it at face value. Now, I've been watching for a long time, so I'm constantly being reminded of things I've seen over the years of being a fan. And sometimes those things bleed into each other. And sometimes we like what we see, like Oba and Brock. Sometimes it takes me time to come around and end up liking it, like some of Oba and Brock stuff. And sometimes I don't really care for it, like the Joe Hendry Danhausen thing from Monday night. But nevertheless, I think there is joy to be found if you're willing to look for it. And so my challenge to the chat is, I'm not telling you to let your eyes deceive you and to call something bad good, but I think there is a lot of good to be found, especially in this card. And don't let people tell you there's not a build if you haven't been watching the show yourself. Because one fight I will pick with anybody who wants to have it is that Danhausen and Dominic Mysterio had a bad or no build whatsoever. Danhausen has been roadrunnering the Wile E. Coyote of Dominic Mysterio since the first night he showed up on Raw.
Yep.
And that's all I'll say about that for now, because I promised my coalition family my soapbox would be miniature size tonight. So anyway.
Thank you for the donation by Josh Carlos, 1998. Quote, blame the talent. Yeah, explains why Karrion Kross got buried for getting himself over. Yikes. You know what, AMD? How we feeling about SummerSlam, A? Because let me just say this, bro. Like, everything Steven is saying is absolutely true. But I'm pretty sure you're seeing the criticisms. You guys have been reacting to Monday Night Raw. I want to know where your heads are at going into SummerSlam.
You know, to be honest with you, for me, I think the biggest problem that I'm having with it right now is WWE Unreal. And I say that to say they've let us in. The curtain of kayfabe has long since dropped. But this carefully curated, we're giving you behind the scenes, a look into kind of a thing with Unreal. It aggravates me all the more because, and I said this season 1, season 2, and now with season 3, is that they show that calendar. We plan it months in advance. You see countless people in that writer's room. And now this season they have a female writer, which is great. All these people putting pen to paper, and you generally have these shows that are just not hitting the way that I think that they should be hitting. And if I hadn't seen it like this, I probably wouldn't be quite as critical. But now that you are showing us inside how many people are doing this, and all the hands and the cooks that are in this kitchen, and you're coming out with this dish, because I love using food analogies, you're coming out with this dish that just is not as appetizing as I think it should be, considering how tenured this company is, considering how much money they're talking about, considering how every single thing, which we're going to do now, because we are going all in on the advertisement train. You saw on Raw the announce table, and you actually had Slim Jim. And I was shocked at seeing this.
No, I think it was KFC.
KFC. Yeah, it was KFC. KFC.
Oh yeah, the popcorn chicken, baby. It's all over NXT.
You know, I mean, bro.
There was so many advertisements in that ring for fast food, for junk food, for
everything.
Everything.
So I'm saying all this to say that it seems to me that more than anything, they're all in on advertisements.
But you're still going to commercial every 30 seconds.
And you're giving us commercial after commercial after commercial after commercial. You know, so is the build is what it is. The show, like you said, on paper looks fantastic. I'm sure the show will be fine. I think for me, more than anything, and I'll end it with this, is I'm not in years past. It felt there was. I said this about King of the Ring. There was an importance that I feel was placed on it for several years that made it feel special. And we've had now more PLEs than we've had in years past. And things don't quite feel as special as they used to. And so it almost feels to me like we'll get to the show. We'll just give them whatever we give them week after week after week. We'll build to it. We'll do whatever we call a build. We'll do what we'll do. Like with Trick Williams, I said this on SmackDown. Could you get him the peanut butter? I said on SmackDown that what needs to happen here, Baron Corbin needs to come out here, lay waste to Trick Williams, because there was already a schmoz fest. People came out there doing their thing, but Baron Corbin wasn't a part of it. That actually happened off air. And I said, you're clearly now, I don't know why, but I said to her when we went off the air, I'm like, well, I don't know, it was too late for Baron Corbin and Trick Williams, and they did it off air. So I think that's unfortunate. I'm glad they showed it on their YouTube channel. At least we got that. But that's something that should have been on air. You brought this man back and laid waste, and that's something that should have been on air, especially if it's going to be a match for that U.S. title at a major PLE. That should have been on air. So I'm just saying, it's stuff like that that frustrates me, and it's almost like the show will be good. That's good enough. The show will speak for itself, and we don't have to worry about getting there. We'll just get there, and that rubs me the wrong way a little bit.
How are we feeling about it, B, going into the show?
I don't have a problem with SummerSlam at all. I'm not quite sure what the problem is, but I mean, there has been better ones, but I don't expect to have A+ shows year after year every time. I guess if I would, then I would be upset, but I feel like I'm more realistic than that. There are special times where everything aligns and then you're like, wow, it just doesn't happen like that all the time. And I understand what Steven is saying, but I gotta disagree with you, boy.
Wow, here we go.
You're stealing my babies now.
I'm just gonna say, as far as Triple H's comment, of course he misses when the wrestlers were blamed because he was a wrestler at the time. So he's like, how am I getting this on both ends?
Yeah.
The thing is, up until 1995, people didn't even really know what kayfabe was. They thought it was real. Of course you're blaming the wrestlers. People were stabbing wrestlers. Then in the 1990s, Monday Night Wars, you started leaking their script. Guess what? The first Unreal wasn't even their choice because now we know that this is all pre-planned and we don't even want to watch it. And so then you had, after that happened, then and during the Monday Night Wars, it felt real because it was real. They're over showing up with a tank, you know what I mean? So then that was a different feeling because it really was like wrestlers making decisions and trying to figure it out and and everything. So I think that this is a different time where we hear wrestlers from behind the scenes say, well, yeah, like when before, not Eric, when he got not released this time, but when Eric Rowan got released last time, he was like, I did not want to do that spider thing. I had a whole plan I brought to them. And when he laid out his plan, I'm like, dang, that would have been really good. And he was like, please don't make me do the spider thing. You're going to ruin me, And then they did it and just let him go. And he felt so dumb, So Triple H can't pretend like the writing that, like, you, of course we blame you. You're the ones who decided that Liv doesn't have to defend her title since WrestleMania.
Come on with it. Yeah.
What are you talking about? We've never seen that before. And what are you doing? And then you give her a chance to be in the Queen of the Ring, but she never had to defend her own title? I don't know, man. With some of the stuff that they're doing, he needs to take responsibility for that. It's one thing when people are injured and you have to pivot, but you also could pivot by investing in some other new people and changing stuff around. And I just feel like that comment in and of itself was a little bit of a cop-out because he knows that these are different times. We all know that you have Unreal. You guys decided to do Total Divas, so then everybody knew. So that curtain's been drawn back, which made everyone go, oh, that's your fault because y'all are telling them what to do and say. So if we don't like what they're doing and saying, it's because of you. If we said their wrestling was bad, then we do blame the talent. We'll tell you in a minute when someone can't wrestle. We do.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was but I don't have a problem with SummerSlam. I think it's fine. Like, no, I didn't like the show the other night. I thought it was one of the worst Raws they've had in a really long time, but that didn't ruin SummerSlam for me.
Mm-hmm.
Just to add on to your rant, Josh Carlos says, why would Triple H care about internet opinions, yet goes on a podcast and radio show that criticize the product? So which one is it?
Well, he owns that one now.
Yeah, he does.
Right.
But
That's why.
Because he didn't like what they were saying. So he bought him to shut him up. No.
And
Right,
for,
so he can control
for
the
what it's
narrative.
worth,
Yeah.
he said that, but then he also said, "Oh, but all the podcasters want you to go listen to their podcasts and be the experts on it." Like, I mean, it's true. We do, you know. Like,
Right.
Yeah, well, I pride us in saying that it's just our opinion and that everybody's
Yeah.
in right to their opinion. And I don't think because it's our opinion, it's fact or it's gold or it's correct. If we do know that there's some popular ones who are like, what I think goes, and if you think different, you're stupid.
oh yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
well, you know, you could take your narcissism and have your crowd, but I will never treat someone like they're stupid because they don't like who I like.
Right. And then
It's wrestling, bruh.
we're not going to go buy a radio station or you know, buy our own show to control the narrative either. It's just, that's just showing you how weak they are. And honestly, it really does kind of make me worried about where WWE is going, because if you're so concerned about what people are saying online, even though you say you're not, that you have to buy your own show to control the narrative, that doesn't really speak highly of where the company's going. But I do want to pivot back to SummerSlam here, because despite the hype and despite all the craziness with Triple H, this card does look good. It's a really good card, and I don't want people to miss that, despite the fact that Carlos did point out that Carmelo is not going to be on this show either. Carmelo Hayes is missing both WrestleMania and SummerSlam, and yes, that is a massive, massive sin, and they better make up for it in the future, because that's one of your best talents. Regardless of that, I do think we should give a little credence to what they do have here. And if you guys are ready, I would like to start things off with what really should be the main event of night one, but is currently being booked to open night one. And that, it was said that the Hell in a Cell match between Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi is going to open SummerSlam night one.
Brock goes
live
home
on
early,
ESPN. Live on ESPN. Mr. Steven Sanders, Marked by Wrestling. I would like you to go first on this one. How we feeling about Brock? How we feeling about Oba? And let's answer the ultimate question. Is this going to be Brock Lesnar's last match? How we feeling?
I don't have a clue if it's Brock's last match. I think Brock wanted his last match to be at WrestleMania. And then they Godfather 3'd him, you know, just like when I think I'm out, they pull me back in. You know what I mean? I'm going to go to first of all, this is the money match out of all 12 matches. Like, this has had the most heat, the most juice. Here's my prepared statement for it. Don't overcomplicate things. Ever since Brock lost at WrestleMania, he's been ducking Oba or attacking him from behind, and let SummerSlam be Brock's reckoning. Oba wins, and he makes and it's a statement win. Not like Goldberg short or anything, but there is absolutely no confusion or gray area about who the king of the jungle is in WWE once this match is over. And Brock goes home. And I'm going to say Brock either never comes back again. Technically, like Steve Austin at WrestleMania 19, there's no fanfare, and he just goes and doesn't come back in an active capacity, or we just don't see him for months. Maybe we see him at big payday time again a few weeks before Mania or something. But nah, this is, and I'll say this real quick before I pass it on to whoever you want to go next. There's a few matches on this card where predictability should be our friend. Yes. As fans. Like, just because who should win the match is blindingly obvious doesn't mean that isn't going to make things fantastic. Like, sometimes it's the Occam's razor. The most obvious solution is the right one. Don't overcomplicate it, guys. Have him absolutely crush Brock, leave no doubt, and whatever happens with the titles at the end of this weekend. But when you're ready, Oba said, "Now where was I? Oh, that's right. I'm king of the ring. Where's my belt?" Because he can do it. He's booked that way. Anyways, so Yeah, Oba, of course.
I think it would be a massive mistake to have this open the show. I think this screams main event. This screams, oh, we are here to see this match. This is the marquee match for SummerSlam for me. Quite honestly, this should be closing both nights. This should be the main event of night 2. I think the kind of match they need to have should have blood. This is the match that if you saw CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, that, but more, even more violent. And I agree with Steven. I agree with Mark by Wrestling. This needs to be a dominant win for Oba Femi. Triple H has come out and said that Brock is looking to pass the torch for him. This is a feud made to pass the torch to Oba. And if that's the case, there should be no 50-50. Oba needs to run through Brock. And he needs to be crowned, well, King of the Ring, for sure, but he needs to be seen as like the lion in the jungle. And I feel like for that to be the message to be given, the type of match they need to have needs to be super violent, needs to be bloody as hell. And you know Brock, he doesn't mind cutting himself open. He doesn't mind blood. There are times, if you see him throughout history, where he will bleed when it wasn't like, why would you do that, Brock? He would do it to get the opponent over. He bled for Cody. He bled for Seth. He bled for a lot of people that were made. He should do the same for Oba. And to answer the question, should he retire? If he doesn't retire here at SummerSlam, what the hell was that at WrestleMania?
Right.
Why did he take off his shoes? Why did he take off his gloves? Why did he even tease it? Someone's going to say, well, he did it to fake out Oba and attack him from behind. No, but that doesn't make any sense.
If that's what he did, they would have talked about it on Unreal, and they were intentionally silent about that.
Right.
That entire scene.
Right. I think this is Brock. I think all of this is Brock himself. Triple H even said he doesn't know if Brock's going to call it. For all we know, this is going to be an audible. You know, it might be one of those things where he thought about retiring and then he decided not to. That could happen too. Still, if he's ever going to call it a day, you're not going to get a more perfect moment to do it than by losing to Oba and passing him the torch. It's like when Ric Flair lost to Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 24. And we said, there's no way you're going to get a better match than that. Call it a day. And he didn't. And to this day, I still wish Rick never got back inside the ring. I do not want that to happen with Brock. We all.
Sorry, I hate you. He's going to do that.
And so, yeah, we're going to keep it short and sweet. This should be a win for Oba. And he should go and take that belt from Roman Reigns this year. So, A and B. I guess I'll start with you, B. How we feeling about this match? Who you got winning?
Oh, Oba. No question. Everything you guys said and some. And Brock was very clear when he was interviewed about it that he, just waiting for Stella to knock this camera. You see her?
Yeah.
He was very clear that he very much intended on retiring. That he meant that when he did that, he just didn't tell anybody he was going to do it, but he decided his body had had enough. And they called him at home and was like, nope, not letting you out of your contract. So he's only back because he was forced to come back, and he's avoiding as much physical contact as he can because he already said he physically cannot keep doing this.
Right.
So it's not, it's Oba, and then he goes home. Then if they make him come back again, maybe he will, or maybe he just agreed to come back to finish this last one. Who knows? But yeah, Oba.
How we feeling, eh?
Oba.
Ooh.
You know, I'll be honest with y'all. I'm not happy with this match. This is a hot mess. The second Brock took off the gloves, took off the boots, and put him in the middle of that ring. I said this when we watched Unreal. John Cena did it. It's a sacred thing. I love when Gunther used to say the mat is sacred. You've got to treat this a special kind of way. That's a very serious charge that man did there. And again, that could have just been a Brock thing. Like you said, Steven, they didn't address it at all on Unreal, which goes to show you how carefully curated this unscripted show really is. So the fact that he did that, and now it's like TKO saying, listen, PT, I've said this many, many times, PTO denied. We need you to show up to work on Monday. And that's exactly what happened. It's so anticlimactic. I can't even begin to tell you. It's left a bad taste in my mouth ever since. I hate it. I hate the fact that they're doing this. I hate the fact that he has to, and I get it. He's like, okay, I gotta cheat to win and get over on Oba. I said that's exactly what's going to have to happen. That Oba's going to have to call out his manhood in order for this man to come back, and that's exactly what happened. But I just don't like the way they've gone about it. Quite honestly, I want to see these guys getting into this. I want to see. I love it when you've got those situations where I think it was Taker and Brock when they had them separate like the whole everybody, the locker room, the security.
SummerSlam
and they were
2015. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
I wanted to see that. I so desperately wanted to see that. I hated the fact that we were denied that in their last this weigh-in. We didn't have that, and what we got instead was we got Oba deciding because he's frustrated to wreck shop in there, and it didn't look as strong as he did. And for some strange reason, and you can go back and watch it, Oba looked he looked a little gassed. He looked a little tired. He looked a little like he took like the Benadryl kicked in. It was weird. And I'm not saying how he picked up the one guy and he kind of slipped and whatever, a little too much pepper in the paprikash. I'm just simply saying when he was done and he was like flipping over the scale and everything, he just looked, it didn't look good. It wasn't a good look for any of them. And for me, I felt like the heat that was there, they turned it down and it simmered down. So going into this match, I agree. This is something that should have been the leg. You always want to start strong and finish strong, and I think this would have been the match to end it. But if you're gonna set the bar, then I guess do it with this match. It should be Oba. It should be Oba. Okay, I want y'all to hear me on this.
But
I'm not so sure.
Oh,
no.
there it is.
I'm not so sure. I don't want to fully disagree with you, homeboys, but I'm just simply saying this. I don't think he's done. I know he's banged up and whatever, but the money's there. I honestly can't tell you what I think right now. I'm going to have
You
to.
have to. It's
you
a
have
prediction
to.
show.
I need it.
It's a prediction show.
I'm going to
No.
say there's going to be something that's going to occur that I think this match is not going to end with a clean victory for either man. I think something is going to happen.
You cannot abstain.
I'm not abstaining. I'm saying
Are you saying no contest?
I'm what I'm saying.
And a Hell in a Cell? We're getting Seth and Bray Wyatt all over again?
Oh no.
I'm saying there's something. Something feels off to me. I could be totally wrong, but I just feel like they're going to figure out a way to perhaps have. I guess Oba's probably going to win. I just don't think it's going to be the way. I don't think it's going to be a clean win. I think it's going to be like a pass out. I think something's going to occur that's going to sort of protect Brock.
You don't need to protect Brock. That's stupid.
And because I don't think he's done.
You don't think the feud's over with. You think it's going to continue.
I don't.
But Oba's
I don't.
not the only person in the
How-
business. He could go on to fight someone else big.
How many feuds have continued after a Hell in a Cell match?
Right.
You know?
Listen, when you have a show, because we had mentioned Ric Flair, that was supposed to be it, and that wasn't it.
Well, it was.
Shawn
It was in
Michaels.
WWE.
Well, yeah, I know, but Shawn Michaels also, that was supposed to be it, and that
he
wasn't
came
it.
back. Yeah.
We had a bald headed Shawn Michaels wrestling next to a bald headed Triple H. That happened.
Yeah, but
And
a
that
lot of these
wasn't-
guys.
That was years long. That was a years long gap, though.
Wrestling.
It wasn't a continuation of a feud that retired him.
I know this. All
He wants to be on
I'm
the
saying
farm
is
hunting animals.
all I'm saying is it should be Oba, but the way things have gone about this has not been very clean to me.
Right.
And so the path to victory is muddled as far as I'm concerned. This is probably the hardest match for me to predict. It's probably going to be Oba, but I don't think it's going to happen the way we think. I don't think Oba's going to lay waste. Because and even their promos, it's just like Roman Reigns and Rollins. I feel like week after week they've been saying the same stuff. You know, no more running, no more games. It's Oba. It's no. It's very messy to me. Very
You
messy.
don't trust WWE is gonna actually just bring it to a closing. You think they're just gonna muddy the waters some more, and then next thing you know, it just continues.
Yeah, I think TKO is just like, hey, we're gonna milk this cash cow for as long as we can milk it.
I mean, he has a point. You don't. It was really
That's what I
supposed
think.
to be over at WrestleMania for me, and it's still going now. So there is that uncertainty where it's like, are we sure this is gonna be it? I get what he's saying. Yeah.
They're also out. Okay, I'm not. You know what? We're in a predictions competition, so I'm not going to try to sway anybody to my opinion. I'll take this.
I'm gonna take this belt. It's an easy one for me. No.
Right.
Take this dub.
No, but
are you still saying Oba though, AJ?
Yeah, I
come on, baby.
I'm gonna say. I'll say.
Write it down.
If you want to go Brock, go Brock. It's okay.
Yeah.
It has if this man still has a bona fide title shot, he cannot lose. He's already behind the 8 ball because we didn't do it when we needed to do it. So yes, Oba will win, but it's gonna be funky. That's all I can say.
Okay.
This is gonna be some sushi that you get and you smell and you go,
gas station sushi. All right.
That's
just
all
how
I'm
I like
saying.
my Hell in a Cell.
Hey, gas station food in the South is a thing, and you know it.
Yeah, but I ain't in the South right now. I'm talking about this kind of gas station sushi. You can give me some gas station chicken biscuits and breakfast. Shoot, I'll eat that all day. Gain all this weight back that I lost.
Man, I tell you what, Triple H got us paranoid, man. Josh is right. Triple H himself said, "Shut that up and be a fan." Okay, pal. Okay.
Don't fans boo? Don't fans boo in the audience? Isn't that what they do? They boo and cheer. That's what fans do. They're not. They have. If fans don't have an opinion, they're not really fans. What?
Now, I think this is a fan of yours, Stephen. Malik Dillard, 9523, with a $10 donation. Do you think Oba comes out during the main event and demands his title match? Oh, so after Roman beats or Seth beats whoever wins that match, Oba shows up and confronts them?
Absolutely not. Roman,
No.
Let's just pretend Roman's winning. Ain't no way Roman would agree to that. And
No,
like, it
and-
didn't matter if he dogs walks Jacob and the Usos. Like, Roman will hightail it out the building or just laugh in his face. Like, Oba, they will
and that's
build.
a build. No, yes, that's a build for WrestleMania. No way.
Yeah, I agree with that. Although with him winning King of the Ring, you might have to do that match sooner. But yeah, that's a WrestleMania match all the way through. I agree with you on that one. We got our predictions in for that first match. Before we go on to the second one, I want to let everyone know in the description is a community link for you guys to give your predictions. I believe Mr. Mark by Wrestling is going to be handling that. Will you be tallying all of that, by the way?
Yes, I will be tallying it throughout the show over the weekends, and we'll calculate, hopefully by the end, depending on how tight the race is, by the end of the show on SummerSlam, we'll name who the champion is over on my stream. I'll do my best to hop on over to say hi to A and B during the show and let them know maybe who's won. I am sporadically putting the link in the chat as well, if you guys haven't seen it in the video description. But yeah, it's in the video description. Go there. There is a question for every match on the card and a bonus question for every match that is specific to that match. Is there interference? How does the match end? You also can wager. You can also try to predict the match order of the show. And then we have one mega bonus question because I was feeling a little extra this time. So predict a return that has not been announced, and you'll get an extra 10 points. So
let's get to it, man. I like the full interactive experience here we got going on. I love it. So let's move on to the next match. This is going to be an easy one. I'm not even going to waste that much time with it. The first of two 6 women, a 6-man and a 6-women tag match. This one will include the Bella twins, Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, and their best friend Paige, for now, taking on Fatal Influences, JC Jane, Lainey Reed, and Fallon Henley. So I think we can all agree Fatal Influence needs to win this, right? Right? I mean, what are we doing? Why would we have them debut on SummerSlam?
They just won the tag titles.
They just won the tag titles. We need to build up. We need to build up new faces, number one. But we also need to build up some villains. We have to build up our heels. So I would love to see Fatal Influence win this match. And quite honestly, the Bellas need to go heel too. So what I would do, I'm not booking, but if I was booking, I would have the heels go over, and then the Bellas get pissed off, maybe have Paige take the pinfall. They get pissed off at Paige, they turn on Paige. They go off and do their whole heel run as tag team champs, whatever. And then Paige gets moved up as a single star. Because I think Paige is far and beyond the more popular of the three and really should be competing for singles titles, whether it's mid-card or even the WWE Championship, which we will get to. I have a lot to say about both of those matches. But for this one, Fatal Influence, easy, done with. Let's go to B. How we feeling about this match? Who you got winning?
Exact same, except I was thinking that Nikki gets the pin and then Paige actually turns on her and Paige goes heel for a single run. I still was thinking her to do a single run, but Paige was always such a good heel too, that I think that with Brie and Nikki together and everybody within Brie mode, that they might get more accepted as staying a face, and that Paige would, Paige is just so good at being a heel. I don't know. I just was thinking. So I was thinking the opposite, the same, but switched with who did what. Yeah,
that works too. I wouldn't mind that. I don't want to cheer the Bellas though, but that still works. How we feeling about it, eh?
Oh, that's hilarious. I can see it going either way. Yes, Fatal Influence absolutely will win this match. That's the right call. I'm just not sure who's going to eat the pin, quite honestly. But as far as Nikki Bella is concerned, we last saw her. She turned. She came in. She did her thing, and then she turned. That went absolutely nowhere, and she's going right back to doing her thing. As far as we know, seemingly on the surface, I don't trust it. I thought she'd be back a little sooner than this, and certainly would have turned on Paige. Paige needs to. She obviously, if Nikki's healthy, she's here. She's wrestling. She cannot. This is not going to be a trifecta situation.
No,
this cannot continue.
Someone's turning.
This is unsustainable. Paige needs to be a singles competitor, whether it be a face or a heel. I don't know, but yeah, for sure, Fatal Influence all day.
And last but not least, Marked by Wrestling. Who you got? I
couldn't agree more that Fatal Influence should demonstrably, win this match. But I don't think Creative's going to do that. I think WWE suffers from what I like to call Bella Visionist history, where they overinflate the importance of the Bellas to the women's division. And they are still trying to do that. They're trying to Cena-fy Nikki Bella, I think. And I think she didn't come, but unlike Cena, who spent a whole year trying to make a bunch of different people, whether he succeeded or not is a podcast for another time, but did put in the effort to try to elevate tons of people. Maybe I'm a hater. Maybe I am. And I'll hate if I need to. But
yeah, you are.
I don't think Nikki's that same person. I don't think she showed up to do a job. I think she came back and she's going to get that win. And while I'm intrigued by everybody's fantasy booking about a heel turn after the match, that would be such a copy paste of what they did with Becky Lynch with Lyra Valkyria.
Okay.
That they might actually do it.
Okay.
But that's no.
Nice.
That actually wasn't where I go. Sometimes I give WWE's creative too much grace in being logical with following their own booking and not repeating themselves. So I would think they would want to avoid that, but that might happen. So anyways, I'm putting Bella's just because, even for all my hating, she came back to a big babyface pop, and this is her first actual match coming back. Like she's probably going to get the win. She's probably going to pin Lainey Reed, who's the newest girl out of the group. And they'll probably just forget it ever happened come SmackDown the next week and keep Fatal Influence away from them and gas them up. Because I heard JC already say she was eyeing Tiffy for the U.S. title. So maybe Fatal Influence can just slide to the left and, slide to the right and, jump 2 times and go after another belt. I don't know why I did that. But anyways, yeah. So Bella's, but I don't like it. I'm holding my nose with that pick. Yeah.
We all got Fatal Influence win this match. Let us know who you guys got in the community.
Except for Steven. Steven just said he doesn't.
I said Bella's. I want them to win, but I'm not picking them. B, did you pick the Bellas or did you pick Fatal Influence? Because you.
Oh no, I picked Fatal Influence.
Oh, you did. Okay, so I'm the only outlier here.
Okay, so you're picking Bellas and Paige, Steven.
Yes.
Okay, my bad. I apologize.
It's okay.
I don't know what my mind went to that.
I don't want to pick them, but it's just what I think is going to.
That's a fair pick, and you're probably right about that. Let's see if we're right about this next one, though. The next 6-man tag here will include the Bloodlines, Jimmy and Jay, with Jacob Fatu taking on Royce Keys, the newly babyface Solo Sikoa, and with everybody saying L.A. Knight. Yeah. This match has. Can I go first on this? Do you guys mind?
Please.
If I just take the floor with this one? Because look,
Cross. I like that.
I can't be the only one that feels that this entire thing is a whole mess. And I want to give credit where credit is due. I think when it comes to Solo being a babyface, at first I was like, what are y'all doing? Why? Why are we still trying to make Solo Sikoa work in 2026? It hasn't been working the last 2 years. There was something about the way he was acting on Raw as a babyface that made me go, all right, maybe don't let's not just get too carried away here. Maybe there is something there. Let's see where it goes. But I don't know if I trust creative to make it work, because the way this whole thing's been going, I don't know what they're trying to do here. I used to think that the Bloodline was the baby faces, and then now they're not. I guess so. It depends on who they're fighting. It feels like they're the heels now, even though Jay is clearly acting like the baby face. He hasn't really changed much up to make us think that we're supposed to be rooting against him. And this whole thing is just messy. I'm not too sure who I'm supposed to be rooting for. Maybe it's one of those things where it's like, you make up your own mind. No, you're the ones telling the story. You let us know how we're supposed to feel. If this is supposed to feel like some type of Game of Thrones type of thing, that should be across the board. Not everything. I get not everything needs a babyface and heel, but at the same time, don't make it so unnoticeable to where it's like, I don't even know who's to cheer. So for me, I don't really know what to do with this other than to go, Bloodline's going to win, I suppose. LA Knight is stuck in the Bloodline vortex. Royce Keys is now stuck in it too. I need LA Knight to win that Money in the Bank briefcase in October and finally get away from this. He needs to get out of this vortex. And I don't see it really happening here at SummerSlam, but them the breaks, right? So I got the Bloodline winning. Mark by Wrestling, who you got winning this match?
All right, let me okay, so Bloodline. Sorry, I'm keeping track of everybody's predictions. Let me go to my prepared statement for this match.
Of course.
As long as the match is actually competitive for the baby faces and Solo doesn't turn heel and just rejoin the Bloodline,
yeah,
I won't be mad at this match. The Usos can get dropped, but it's going to be hard to convince me that they'll be able to neutralize Jacob long enough to pull off the win. Although they could really take a gamble here. I wouldn't call it a gamble, but they could choose to make a big statement by having Royce Keys get the best of Jacob in this match.
Right.
But I don't think they'll do it. I think, listen, I'm just going to say it. WWE has an unhealthy fixation on how popular the Bloodline actually is, I think. And it's very NWO coded, like 1998, 1999 NWO coded.
Yeah.
Like the winds of change were already blowing, but it hadn't gotten through the crowd yet. You know, the crowd's still yeeting, they're still doing all their stuff, but the bread's getting stale. And I'm not saying all these guys need to go off TV. I'm just saying they need to try something different.
Please
do something legitimate. I was begging before Jacob joined the Bloodline. I was begging him to beat Roman and snap the Ulafala into.
Oh my God!
And be like, nobody rules me. Like no, anything like that. And like it doesn't. Like I'm not married to that idea, but that's something wildly different, right? And it's one thing when you were like listen, I'm not delusional. You were the it faction in wrestling for multiple years. And you're still the most popular. But sometimes as an artist, which is what these wrestlers are, they're athletes and artists at the same time, you've got to challenge yourself to grow. and not keep playing the hits. So I applaud Solo for trying something different.
Yeah.
Because it's starting to work. I wasn't on board with it right away. It was a little Urkel-ish to me at first, but now I'm kind of warming up to it. Jacob, it kind of depends on the week. Jimmy, I kind of wish they would give him more to do because I think he's trying. And Jay, I'm not going to judge Jay because Jay is clearly going through some stuff right now. And I know this isn't that kind of podcast, but I know that always plays into how you show up to work. So I'm not going to say nothing bad about Jay. God bless him. And Roman, you are the man. You're number one. And we'll talk about this later. But if you're number one, you should set the course. Be the example of what it means to be an evolving, always interesting, always compelling star. And that's not all his fault. I blame creative for that feud when we get to it. But anyways, I just don't think creative is going to hop off the bloodline. I think they're going to have to be forced to do something different with the bloodline when the fans like unequivocally demand it. And I don't think they're going to take the first step in it, which, listen, is a choice. That is something you can do. That happened to Hogan back in the days. They had to wait for the crowd to get sour on Hogan, start to get sour on Hogan before they moved on from him. And I can sympathize. When you've got the cash cow, you just want to ride that thing until you don't have a choice left. But I like you could really, with the right booking and the right kind of match, you could really, you could give all the LA Knight fans something that they could ride high on for months, because those people, when I say them, I mean me, are starved for something good to happen to LA Knight. You could really give Royce Keys a big moment. You could really establish him, not like on an Oba type level, but really cement him in with the crowd to be like, look what he just did to Jey Uso, or look what he just did, whatever. But I think picking the bloodline in this match is a safe choice. And again, it's nothing personal. They clearly have earned their success, right? They have been the most over act for a long time, but I have seen this movie before. And I hope they can adapt and stay interesting and not just keep doing the same thing for months on end. You know what I mean? I guess it's not that I want different people. I just want the same people to do something different.
Just do something different with it. That's it.
Yeah, just something new, just something different. Jericho, who I ain't talking about 2026 Jericho, but old 08, 09 Jericho was like not afraid to try different things to try to stay relevant. And like that works for him for that time, We got suit Jericho, which is my favorite one. But anyway, I'm not saying bloodlines just start wearing suits. I'm getting further away from it. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I wrote a whole statement and I got away from it. But anyways,
what we here for?
I think the bloodline's going to win.
Yeah,
and we'll see what happens. And I hope to death that I'm wrong, because when the bloodline is good, the whole company is good.
But when it's bad,
and I'll say that. When it's bad, you count every commercial break.
And on that note, A and B, how we feeling about this 6-man tag? Who you got winning, and your thoughts, of course. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, just so you know, she was covering Roman's ears during this whole rant.
Sorry,
so
I should have said earmuffs.
I will not get on board with
I'll say earmuffs next time.
To be fair, we had the bloodline winning.
It doesn't matter. You guys slandered the chief, the tribal chief, the head of the table.
Man, you got to live with her. I do. I got to live with this now.
Jesus is the head of my table.
Sorry.
Number one, ain't nothing wrong with Solo. You tripping, Alyx. Solo is funny, and he just gets funnier no matter what he does. I like everything he does. He is so funny. I think he has come such a long way from being Roman's lackey. And I don't think the same of LA Knight that you guys do anyway. But as far as Roman goes, I don't know why you would change perfection. That doesn't make sense to me. And when The Rock tried to change and go into Mr. Hollywood, it was the worst thing he ever did. He should have stayed The Rock. And Roman is just Roman, bruh. You walk in and just you don't do nothing to that. And he ain't even got that much time left. You don't need to do nothing. Okay. The bloodline will figure it out, the rest of them, when he's gone to Hollywood. But for now, he could just keep being him, and the whole room is going to stand and put their ones up and shout his name when he's not around, because he has it. And what he should be saying to Seth in this feud is, Seth, I know you want to be the man, and I know that your wife is the man, but like, I can only lead you to water, player. Like, there's only one tribal chief. There's only one head of the table. As long as I'm on a show, you always going to be second, bruh, because you're second, because you ain't me. I mean, that's all he had to say. That would have been new and different and true. Okay, I'm done.
Wow.
So you're picking the bloodline, right? No, just
So she's picking LA Knight. I'm just kidding.
He's going with LA Knight.
Yeah.
No, LA Knight's winning. No, that'd be great.
Man. Okay. Well, I don't know how do I follow that up?
Carefully.
Call the man perfection, as if I'm not just inches away from her. But that's cool. That's cool. So I'm gonna fully disagree with you, homeboy. Okay. Yeah, here's the reality. The Usos will not be a factor of much of anything in this matchup. Jacob could do this all by himself, the way they built this man.
Yep.
Which is crazy to me. But I'm done with LA Knight talking about the blood. Like, I'm so done with him and the bloodline that I need him to we need this win. Okay, we need this win. Royce Keys needs this win. Solo Dolo needs this win. This is if anybody needs a win, and I don't want to hear Roman say it ever again, they need this win. So I'm actually going to go LA Knight, Royce Keys, and Solo Sikoa for the win.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
Huge win for them. Huge win. They
absolutely need it. Mm-hmm.
I would like to see what would happen if the bloodline did lose. I would like to think that would lead to something different. Like, Roman would definitely be pissed off at them. So that
he might.
The bloodline is more interesting when there's consequences and repercussions.
Exactly.
Solo's been kind of like, not Solo. Roman's been kind of like with the Usos, keeping them out. He's kind of been Paul Heymaning them a little bit, where he was just kind of dealing with Jacob and handling business, and it's like, oh, they don't need to know. So
Roman been sending them to the office, and he's been working remote.
You know what I mean? I would even go so far as to say one of the Usos would probably eat the pin. And the bloodline will still be whatever it is as far as Jacob's, because Jacob will look strong no matter what. But yeah.
I like it. Community, give us your opinions in the live chat. And of course, we're going to move things along here to a match that I am genuinely looking forward to. And I think is actually going to be a good one. Gunther.
Alex, who did you pick for that match? I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I picked the bloodline.
Okay, cool. We're good.
So the match that one of the matches I'm looking forward to is Gunther, the Ring General. Gunther taking on the debut of Nick Aldis. So despite how wacky and, let's just be honest, not good SmackDown has been, one of the bright spots has been this feud. I think people forget, well, some of you don't even know because you haven't been following Nick Aldis, but those who have, we forget how good of a wrestler Nick Aldis is. Not just in the ring, but also on the mic. This guy can talk you into the arena. And that contract signing he had with Gunther reminded me of how good this guy really, really is. And not a lot of people are talking about this match. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this would probably be one of the best matches of the entire weekend. Watch. It's two men who work old school, so they know how to do the small things that take a match from being good to being excellent. So the only bad thing I got to say is I don't think Nick is going to win, which is, he shouldn't. Duh. I mean, Gunther retired AJ, retired Goldberg, retired John Cena. Shouldn't be losing to anybody right now, unless his name is Cody Rhodes, apparently. We're not going to get into that, but
he was screwed, okay? Multiple times.
Okay, sure. We'll go with that. But no, I just feel like when it comes to Nick Aldis, it's just, I love the guy. You should not beat Gunther. I gotta watch my words. I shouldn't say you're not going to. Who knows what the hell WWE is gonna do? And that would be, in my opinion, that would be stupid. Even if he pins him by like a roll-up pin, oh, he got a lucky victory over him. No, not Gunther. No, not this time. He needs to annihilate. Okay. No, he needs to annihilate Nick Aldis when it comes time for it, and he needs to win. And yeah, I do think eventually they gotta pull the trigger and give Gunther the WWE Championship. You have to. You have to. Look at what you gave him. What was the point of having him retire 3 of the Goldberg, John Cena, AJ Styles? Holy shit. At one point, he was going to retire Brock Lesnar. Thank God they changed their mind on that. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. But no, like still, why would you not belt this guy? So Gunther, that's my pick to win. I'm going to A and B on this one. A, how we feeling about this match, man? Who y'all got winning?
I like it. This has actually been one of the highlights, like you had said, of what's going on with SmackDown. Absolutely love it. The promo skills, what I saw, it like you said, you know, Booker T, I don't agree with everything Booker T says, but one of the things he says not everybody fully understands is you're paraphrase, you're not great at anything, you're good at everything, or something like that. Like basically saying, you know what I mean? Like it's
jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah. It's the little things. If you watch that back, you look at the way Nick Aldis is staring this man down. I mean, it was like he had heat vision, like he was Superman. He was piercing his soul.
Yeah.
And I loved it. He was commanding without saying a word. He's in his face. And I'll tell you another thing that I absolutely love. You know, I'm a person that loves the stiff hits. When they were getting into it, they weren't pulling punches. They weren't doing the hitting my own hand kind of a deal. It was the solid thuds. You didn't need a microphone to hear those thuds. I'm here for it. I'm excited for this match. And then what's the end all be all? What's the goal here? What are we talking about? And I'm going to ask this question real quick, and then I'm going to give it. He's relinquishing his SmackDown general managerial skills. But this, and I want to make sure I'm understanding this. Is this a temporary or is this a permanent?
I think he's a permanent wrestler now.
And then
he's a wrestler now.
The language in that segment certainly suggested there was no going back.
Yeah, he's done. He's a wrestler now. Permanently.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are moving on with a new SmackDown GM, correct?
Absolutely. We should.
All right. With that said, I got Nick Aldis for the win.
Awesome. Who you got for the win, B?
I agree. I have Nick Aldis for the win. I think that either way, you probably will have one of the matches of the weekend because, like you said, his career has led him to WWE, and even though he had a suit on, you could tell as he's busting out of that suit that he came here to be in the ring. Didn't come here to be a manager. And I'm hoping that he's going to take this opportunity to show us who he is in the ring. And like you said, the little interaction they had was very exciting. And I think that if it looks like Gunther's about to lose to him, that out of pride, Gunther will do something to get disqualified from the match, giving Nick Aldis the win anyway, but still making Gunther look crazy by doing whatever, to try to make it like, you know, trying to save face so he still looks strong at the end.
So we got what is that? Gunther, and hey, you got Gunther as well?
They both picked Aldis.
You went Aldis. Okay.
Then
sorry.
2 Aldises and 1 Gunther so far.
Awesome. And so finally, last but not least, Mark by Wrestling. Who we got?
All right. I'm very much looking forward to this match. I think, guys, and for all of you, you know, who are looking at the old guy in the corner with all the retro gear, pay attention during this match. This is probably going to be, other than maybe Punk and Cody, which I don't think it'll be more than Punk and Cody, but is probably going to be the best exhibition of what a good wrestling match decades ago probably would have looked like.
Yep.
These 2 non-American European men are going to beat the stuffing out of each other without trying to break each other's necks. And I've loved the build for this match. I got, I got rage baited a couple of times online with people trying to say this was some sort of demotion for Gunther. And one thing I would like to communicate to the chat and wrestling fans is read between the lines of who WWE picks for their unconventional showcase matches. When Johnny Knoxville came in, who'd they put him with? Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
When Bad Bunny decided to wrestle, who'd they put him with? Damian Priest. And Miz early on when it was tag match. The people they trust the most get to care for the part-timers or the people who maybe need a few more reps before they're comfortable in. So this is honestly a big sign of trust and responsibility and investment in Gunther from where I'm sitting. So all that to say, I've loved the build for it. I'm intrigued about the idea that Aldis is no longer a GM, which kind of bums me out because I really liked him as a GM. Like, he was fair, but also kind of aggressive in his own right, which is what got him into this mess in the first place. At the end of the day, I was expecting until we got this extra match that Sammy was going to interfere in this match because he was also screwed out of a title match because of Nick Aldis. And I'm so proud of SmackDown's writing team for reminding us that Sammy had a reason to be mad about it too. And that's more talk for Sammy later. But I think Gunther's going to win, but I think he's going to be a bit of a hypocrite. He's been screwed over and over again because of all this when he's chasing Cody. And I think he's going to resort to doing something underhanded to steal the match from Aldis. And I think he's going to get away from it. And he's going to be a hypocrite as a result. And I don't think this is the only match we get between the two of them.
Oh, cool.
I don't either.
Into a full field. Yeah.
I think they run this back.
I don't think it will be the only one. Yeah.
And not for nothing, if Nick Aldis is no longer GM and they're not going to try to make Adam Pearce make every town twice a week, put William Regal back on screen.
Yes, William Regal would be a perfect GM for SmackDown.
I mean, it's July, so he's going to have to come out and yell War Games in a few months anyways. So go ahead and put him on SmackDown now. War Games.
Oh, man. Get ready going. I love it. I love that. Give us your thoughts and opinions on that match and the community now. I've been waiting all night, all week to talk about this next match. You guys might want to go ahead and take a step back because I'm about to nuke everything when it comes to the Women's World Championship. Oh, yeah, the ladies, especially Liv Morgan, your world champ, who has held the belt for over 100 days and has defended it for the equivalent amount of 0 times up against Io Sky. And look, first off, let me just say, I don't blame Liv for this. Liv didn't make the decision not to defend the belt. She has no choice. She's the actress being led by the director here. That being said, how do you hold the belt for over 100 days and not defend it? She has defended the belt less times than Roman Reigns has. Think about what I just said. Roman has defended the belt, I think, once or twice against Jacob Fatu, right? She is at the point now where she is not even defending the belt as much as Roman. And how many times have we complained about Roman being a part-time champ? Yikes. That's terrible. And we have to understand how bad that is. This is a woman who's on television every week. It's not part-time. She's on television every week. She is the focal point. She is the face of that division. And that belt is just collecting dust on her. She could be, and people are going to say, well, she was supposed to fight Stephanie Vaquer. She was supposed to fight blah, 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 blah. Okay. What about Bayley? What about before she turned heel? You could have had Lara Valkyria fight her. Becky Lynch is just sitting at home, just chilling. You could have done many things. You could have broken up Judgment Day, sent Roxanne after her, sent Raquel after her. There are so many things you could have done, but you did the complete opposite. You put her in the Queen of the Ring just to get to the finals and do what? Lose. So now your champion's losing. And she lost to the woman that she's fighting tonight. And then to make matters worse, Danhausen, we'll talk about him in a second too, decided to come out and put the old little curse on her, which makes again, predictability doesn't mean necessarily bad, but we all know how this match is going to end. Unless she can find a way to break the curse, Liv Morgan is going to hold the belt for over 100 days. And on her first title defense, she's going to lose it to Io Sky. If that doesn't scream one of the worst, maybe the worst, championship reigns in WWE history, I don't know what it is. Liv Morgan doesn't deserve it, but that's what WWE has done to her.
Yeah.
This women's division has suffered as a result. We're going to get to SmackDown in a second, but the Raw women's division has not been great for me because of this. So the sooner you can get that belt off of Io Sky and get the belt off of Liv Morgan and put it on Io Sky, the better for everybody. So, in case you didn't figure it out, Io Sky needs to beat Liv Morgan because, dear God, the division needs it. All right, that's my soapbox. Let's go to Mark by Wrestling, who I think he's ecstatic to respond to what I have to say. How we feeling about this match?
Why wouldn't I?
How we feeling about? Yeah, who you got winning, man?
Yeah, I mean, I think your points are right on. I would argue, or not argue, but I'd clarify. I think Raw, and I think this whole Liv situation has exposed the critical lack of main event women on Raw. I'd say, don't misunderstand me, a banging mid-card division for the ladies between Sol, Raquel, Roxanne, Lyra. I mean, sadly, Bayley is not positioned as a main event talent anymore. So I'm not gonna call her one just because she used to be. I feel like if Becky Lynch had been more available, that would have been a good pivot. But and maybe it's just the unreal in me watching the interview they did with Stephanie Vaquer, which broke my heart.
Yeah.
After WrestleMania. I know, I don't know how Stephanie feels, right? But I do identify with, I've been working my whole life to get to a certain point, and when you get there, like, your sense of self just betrays you, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever. And you're like, I've been holding it all in just to get to this point. And now that I'm here, it's really time for me to hit the grind, and I can't keep up with it. And so, like, I totally get her and her need for needing to step away for however long Stephanie needed to step away. But that build for that WrestleMania match, Liv got her mess rocked multiple times in a very dangerous way.
And like, on her head. Yeah.
That was the whole story arc of her feature on Unreal this season, was how many times she got injured. And so I'm not unconvinced that she hasn't been able to defend her title this whole time, and they've been trying to mask it because, this is my theory, because TKO sees her as a marquee girl. And I'm not saying she's not, but
she is. Yeah.
She is. She's got that Jey Uso quality, that CM Punk, that Roman Reigns quality of, like, she pops on TV. She looks good in photos. She looks good on the souvenir cups, all that kind of stuff. And so I think to a degree they're like, yes, put our movie stars out there and do right by them. And they checked their inventory on Raw and are like, shoot, we don't really have anybody to put her up against. And they look even dumber now because of the Rhea Ripley situation and stripping the title off Rhea. Like, because I'm like, okay, I respect it. You can play smoke and mirrors with Liv if you have to, if you feel like you don't have any other choice, if you don't feel like all those other amazing mid-card women are ready to come up to that level just yet. Okay, I will go along. I'll play the game. But then you went and took the title off Rhea. And I'm like, well, now it makes Liv look even worse. Yeah. For not doing anything in this situation. So I agree with you. I don't blame Liv for her state right now.
No. Right.
And honestly, I think if you switch the title to Io, you open yourself up to a lot more options anyways. Because Lyra just turned heel. Raquel's the Intercontinental Champion now, which bravo, Raquel. She's earned it from the past year. I mean, she deserves it. I would love to see them heat up Roxy a little bit and make her a threat to somebody. instead of just window dressing, because she can go. I think you have more options with Io as champ than you do Liv right now. And whatever they need to do for Liv, let them do it and give her time off, or just let her be managerial while she heals up. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I think it's time to move it on to Io so the belt can get defended, and you can still tell stories with the women of the Judgment Day, because now Raquel is a title holder, so like she can be like, hey, I'm the one with gold in this faction now. You ladies get in line behind me.
I'm the leader now.
You could get that Shawn Diesel thing.
Yeah.
Which is what happened with those two. Shawn lost the belt, Diesel won one, and they're like, hold on for a second. And so there you go. There's a story. Sometimes I'm not anti-story, but you don't need to hold a title hostage to do it. So anyways, and I'm a loud advocate for giving women stories on TV that don't require a title, because that's how people actually become more popular. Anyways, all that long-windedness. Sorry, everybody. To say Io, I think Io's the right call. I think we get a fresh set of matchups, and I'm still holding out for Rhea Io 3 at some point, because now hopefully, never mind. But I'm still holding out for that match. There's a little Seth Roman-ness to it, to their rivalry, but not as hateable. I mean, not as hated between them. I mean, so anyway, I hope we get that down the line.
Before
and who knows? Maybe Naomi comes. We don't know how ready Naomi is.
Right.
Either.
Oh yeah. Shoot. She probably is. If she's not getting ready, she'll probably be ready by Royal Rumble. We'll have to see. Before we go on to A and B, well-rounded Io made a good point. Who's to say if Io wins, she won't defend it either? Might be just a WWE issue of not knowing what to do with their women's title, women's champs.
I think she'll still wrestle though.
I disagree with that comment for the very reason that Io's wrestling every week anyway. So there's more of a chance of her defending the belt than Liv. Yeah. So we'll have to see. And then this donation from Brandon Wyatt, $10. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, Liv this one because I have Roxy winning Money in the Bank and cashing in on Liv. And I am sick and tired of them filling this women's division, especially after watching NXT and Evolution 2 last year. That pay-per-view last year for the women was so goddamn good. I feel you on that. But we have to remember, Liv Morgan is cursed. So I think it's a done deal. She's losing the belt.
Cursed for real.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
For real. But A and B, man, like, who y'all got winning this match? I think we all kind of figure who is, but how y'all feel about this match going into it?
I am the captain now. That's what she's going to be saying. I am the captain now. Listen, I also thought maybe she was injured and so I thought maybe even maybe in June when it looked like she hurt her ankle that maybe she did and they were hiding it. But then I've seen her come out in heels and skipping and jumping on Dom and attacking people. And so I think when you're nursing an injury to protect it, you wouldn't have her still jumping up and jumping down on a sprain. So I kind of backed away from that. And I do think that they have decided that she is their it girl. For the love of goodness, they had her record a song, even though she can't sing to save her life, because they wanted her to perform, to come out. I mean, they are all in on her. But you ruin her when you don't have her defend her title for this long. You made people who, like, if she had been defending her title this whole time, I would say her.
Yeah.
But the fact that she hasn't, I just can't in good conscience say that I want her to keep holding on to it when she already had that unfair chance as the champion to face the champion. It is so stupid. So now you're forcing our hand when it comes to this. So I also have Io, but I have Liv Morgan's loss at the hands of Stephanie Vaquer.
Oh, so Stephanie comes back and costs
her return.
Wow. That's actually a nice wrinkle, and that brings it full circle. I like it. How you feeling about it, eh?
You know, I am I'm in agreement with her in regards to Stephanie Vaquer. I just wasn't sure if she was going to come back and ruin, and somehow the music hits and there's a distraction, and or Liv actually wins, and then as she's celebrating, boom, music hits and we see her come out. Oh my gosh, you know.
Yeah.
But I definitely think Stephanie Vaquer will get involved in some way, shape, or form. I'm just not clear on how. Yes, she is cursed. The Judgment Day is cursed. Now, I was saying this in regards to Raquel's win on Monday Night Raw. Loved, and I had a feeling that was going to be the case because that match happened much later on. That happened right before the main event segment. And if that wasn't going to be the case, that would have happened like in the first hour, like the first half hour. Soul would have won. They would have moved on with their lives. So I'm glad that happened the way that it did. Raquel never got her lick back on Liv screwing her. And that is just a fact. And I've been saying this ever since, that deep down inside, you got to stick it back to Liv. And the fact that she is now a champion and you're now looking at a situation where Liv Morgan won't be, the Judgment Day, it's not going to function quite the same way. And we need a little bit of that friction. So yes, Io Sky for the win. There you go.
Boom. Give us your thoughts in the community. Thank you for this donation from Amrid. He says, this Solo in the bloodline would be gold. Hey, we're going to give him a shot. If
He would be the new Sammy.
Seriously, if he can get it over, it would be nice. For real. I'm not
all
gonna...
I mean is comedy.
Oh.
That's all I mean.
Oh, okay. We're going to see what happens with that. So the main event, what's scheduled to be the main event of night one. Again, I think it's a mistake, but this is what WWE wants to do. And quite honestly, I don't blame them because it's Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk for the WWE Championship. We talk about what could be WrestleMania main events. This one's up there. This is definitely a WrestleMania main event. And who's to say it won't be? Because I doubt this is the only match they're going to have. I see this as the beginning of a series of matches that's going to span years. I think these two have a lot to work with. Their promos have been great. I wish they would have had just a bit more time, just a little bit more time to add heat to it, because I feel like it's now starting to get some heat. That backstage off-screen segment where I think it was Saturday Night's main event when CM Punk accidentally hit Cody and then they did the argument, then they deleted it. I love that. Just things like that. I'm like, do more of that, please. That's great, because people remember that stuff. And then they took it on screen. The SmackDown promo was okay. There were some good things they said. The little thing about when Punk didn't have the belt, he was respectful. But when Punk did have the belt and Cody didn't, Cody was an asshole. And so little things like that, I'm like, oh, that's good. If it goes somewhere. Who wins this match? So I went back and forth. But I think for me, and I'm probably going to get this wrong. And we all know how long I've been wanting and begging for Cody Rhodes to go heel. I've been wanting it to happen for years now. There's something about the way they're booking him now that feels different than any other time they've been booking him. I think what they're going to do, Punk is going to win this match. I think Punk is going to come out the victor. There's a side of me that feels like if they're ever going to do a Cody Rhodes heel turn, I think now's the time to get it going. And I feel like with CM Punk on top, you have that strong, overall beloved babyface that doesn't matter what he does. They're going to love him. If they turn him heel, they're not going to boo him. It's like with Randy Orton, right? You turn Orton heel, they're just going to love him even more. You turn Punk heel, they're going to love him anymore. But with Cody, you can actually get heat from him. You know the fans are going to want to see him lose. So I'm actually going to trust my instincts on this one and say, yeah, I think Punk wins. Something happens in the match that pisses Cody off and we get a darker side of him. Maybe not immediately, progressively over time. And then hopefully, perhaps by next WrestleMania, we'll do this match again and we'll finally have Homelander heel Cody Rhodes. Who knows? But however they go with it, somebody has to go heel in this feud. If this is going to go an extra year or so, it can't just be them being baby faces. You can't. No, one of them has to go heel. My gut instinct says it's going to be Cody, and for that to happen, Punk has to win this match. So all chips are in. CM Punk is retaining the belt. Mark by Wrestling, do you disagree or agree? Who you got winning this match?
Yeah, there's a real Mega Powers vibe going on here with Punk and Cody, and I like it. It's pretty likely that whoever wins this match is going to have to deal with Sammy next, which I'm showing my cards on that one already. We'll talk about that match when we get to it.
Yeah.
But instead of I'm less interested in who wins this match, and I'm far more interested in who loses this match.
Yeah.
And a big shout out. I enjoyed the promo on Friday where Punk started off by saying, I hate that I'm scared, not scared, but that I don't want to turn my back on you, because him bringing up the callback from years earlier of saying, I'm the guy who's going to stab you in the front instead of stab you in the back, like already pointing out the kind of lack of trust between them and like the shakiness and all that stuff. I'm really interested in how Cody, kayfabe wise, whatever, will handle not getting the title back. Especially with this like really subtle, like hit you in the face with the belt and not notice and stuff. Like those two are smart enough and seasoned enough that they could book a spot in that match where Cody gets, hit by the ref or something happens that is unintentional that Cody perceives as intentional cheating and loses that match. And then he's got another axe to grind. I agree. I'm going to have Punk winning this match, but I don't think Cody turns this weekend. I think we're going to see a slow unraveling. And I think he's going to complain more. And if they're smart about it, he doesn't need well, of course I can't think of one now. He doesn't need a Seth Rollins style heel turn on the Shield where it just comes out of nowhere.
Oh, no.
He needs a slow burn. Crowd is starting to boo him before he even turns in the first place. Kind of boo.
Yeah. We see it coming.
That we see it coming and he eventually snaps. And I don't care how long that takes, like however long it takes. And he will make kids cry. He absolutely will, if they give him a chance to. But anyways, it just depends on if he's saved up enough money to give up those sweet merch checks yet. We'll see what happens. Nevertheless, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens after. And I think these two can put together a good match. Punk is, in my view, anyways, has been quietly having some real classics lately. Like,
dude,
he's just tapped it. It's like he just stayed up all night watching Terry Funk tapes or something. It's like, you know what? I'm going to do that. And I'm going to give these guys 1980s matches, and they're never going to have seen it. And, he's like the old vintage pro wrestler now, which is a lot of fun. So I'm interested to see what he and Cody can do.
So A and B, I got a question. We got Amir saying, I think WWE forgot Cody is a better heel than face. How are we feeling about this match? And do you think this is the start of a potential Cody Rhodes heel turn or not?
What do you think?
I went first last time. You go.
I think it is absolutely going to be the beginning of a Cody heel turn. He is for sure crashing out. And there was something, if anybody ever saw any movie that dealt with a pod person, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, anything like that, somebody that's trying to fake like they are that person, or Terminator 2 with the liquid metal.
With the dude Men in Black.
There was something, exactly. There was something off about Cody Rhodes on SmackDown where he was in the ring and I'm looking at him. I'm looking at his face and I'm like, who is that? I'm like, that's not Cody Rhodes in there. He was freaking me out and he didn't even say anything yet. So I can already hear the short circuits happening in his head, and I love it. I love like you said, it's the little things, and he's doing it subtly and even more demonstrably. I'm absolutely here for it. I think it would be a mistake to fully go rogue in this match or at the end of this match. I think we need to make a big leap forward towards that for sure, to let the people know, okay, yeah, this is for sure happening. But CM Punk is absolutely going to win this match. It would be insane for CM Punk to lose to Cody Rhodes at this juncture. And I'm fine with either one of these guys being heel, but right now CM Punk's in his bag. And it just wouldn't make sense for me to have him lose this belt right now, and have Punk chase him, because Punk doesn't really do that per se. He got the brass ring, so to speak, and I think he would be content with not winning it. And I don't want to. That's not going to make for good television for me. I think Cody Rhodes being QB1 and all that, I got to be the man. Him chasing that and him crashing out, and the fact, like you said, that flip, and I saw that when that happened, when Punk put that title on his shoulder and then hit him in the face. I distinctly said to myself, I'm like, and they focused in on him, like, at first I'm like, was that intentional? Did he not know? Like, I thought that was very interesting. I've been watching wrestling a long time, and I never really saw that, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And they honed in on that. And even Cody Rhodes was like, oh yeah, well, hey, it was an accident, right? That was an accident. It was an accident. I love it. So that's the way it needs to be. I agree with Steven. It's going to be a slow burn. We're going to get some shades of it. I would even go so far as to say we might even get a Cody Rhodes intentional low blow. Quite honestly.
For sure. We might get that.
I wouldn't put it past him, but yeah, CM Punk all day.
And then B, who you got going?
Hold on. I have okay. So I listened to y'all. What is that? What is that that you say about the boys in the back?
Oh, Jesse Bonaventura.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, talking about the boys in the back.
I feel like I gotta disagree with you boys in the back.
Wow.
Try not to do your I gotta disagree, homeboy.
I can't believe that, Hogan. You're gonna rat me out.
Oh, shoot.
Let's see what we got.
Why don't you tell me?
I think it's gonna be like something that's gonna have to be continued, because there's gonna be another return. Now, this is my dream booking. Do I think they're really gonna do this? No. But I'd like to say that KO is gonna return. And that he's going to cause this to be a situation where he's attacking both of them, because he has a problem with both of them. And when he went out, he was fighting Cody, and now they done screwed his best friend out of a match. And heel Sane and heel KO are gold together. And Cody has mentioned twice that him and Punk should come after those tag team titles. So I think they're going to try to drag this out a little bit more, bring in something away for them to face KO and Sammy, get the tag team titles and do that, and then face each other. And then we could have Cody turn on Punk while they're, whatever, and then fight. So I think it will be dragged out more. I don't think it's going to start this soon. I think they could really drag this out a lot more. KO's been teasing a return. He's been teasing coming after Punk. And with Sammy already in a feud with Punk and Cody, I just don't know how you would miss that combination.
Gotcha. So you got this match ending in a no contest because of KO interfering.
I would say KO and Sammy, but I think Sammy's already fighting Finn that night, right?
He's on night two.
That's night two.
And is this night one or night two?
Still night one.
Well, this is ending night.
Oh, well then
this is ending
Sammy and KO. I have Sammy and KO both interfering then together. So they're both being attacked. Because that way it would still be like a no contest. If both of them are getting attacked, you can't disqualify, say one or the other one, because they were both attacked. I mean, this is just my dream. It's just me dreaming.
Hey,
but
I like it. I was thinking he was gonna have Randy Orton come out and cost Cody or something. Like that would have made sense too. You never know. So
true. That would have been another return that, never know.
give us your thoughts in the community tabs. Let us know how you feeling about it as we move on to night 2. So this was just announced off screen, and this is probably going to be the quickest prediction I ever make. Listen, I know people like Baron Corbin. I don't see it. I think he's just here because he decided to take less money than other talent would. Sheamus said, nope, not taking less money. The New Day said, nope, not taking less money. And Kairi Sane didn't get an opportunity to tell them she wasn't taking less money. And others didn't as well. Baron Corbin is one of the only people that's like, I'll come back and work for less money. And you will lose as somebody that comes back to make less money. Trick Williams retains the U.S. belt. Probably shouldn't even be on SummerSlam, but here we are. How we feeling about it, A&B?
I have Trick all day. I don't.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a good match, and I do like Baron Corbin. I don't love everything he's done, but I think he's really good. He's good at being a heel. I think he was one of the best kings. I mean, he was the last king that really, really and no one else is embodying it. He should have just came back as King Corbin. It's not like anybody else is wearing a crown. They haven't called King Oba. They haven't called him that since maybe the first night. They don't care. Or maybe he
do put
came
it on
back
his
as King
graphic.
Corbin. Do they? I didn't even
Yeah.
notice that.
Yeah, it's on his nameplate. He has like a
Okay.
customized.
I guess that's something, to be fair.
I mean,
Okay.
it's
I
not
didn't notice.
nothing. I'll just say
Yeah.
that.
But I loved Baron. I loved his crown, and I loved his train, and I felt like he just did a great job being king, and that's important to us. Like the King of the Ring should mean something, and I feel like he took it very seriously. So I do like him, but it's hard to go against Trick. You just can't vote against. I can't go against Trick.
Who could? For real.
Yeah.
What do you feel about it, eh?
I got Baron Corbin for the win.
I'm sorry. What?
I got Baron Corbin for the win. I got Baron Corbin for the win.
Should put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, I'm doing that. Hey, look, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I have to go with what I'm seeing here. What I'm seeing here is a man that was released by the WWE who has come back shockingly. And there was a rumor out there that he tried to dispel on social media. Boom, comes back, lays waste immediately to Trick and everybody and Mello and all that stuff. It ain't over. I just think that I hate to say this. I like Baron Corbin. I do.
You don't have to hate to say that. I'll back you up when it's my turn.
Apparently, I'm the odd one out here.
I will simply say this. I don't know why they brought this man back.
Maybe he'll tag with Rusev, who they also don't know why they brought back.
Goodness.
I had an issue. I like the fact that he came back. I liked his whole demeanor. But sometimes you need to go into the indies and come back a better man. But this is going to sound stupid. When he first came in there and he was laying waste to him and he went, yeah! And I went, don't do that. Don't. Why did you scream like that? You know what I mean? I'm sorry. It's when we say it's the little things and I'm like, bro, that wasn't it. And then you decide to do this thing off air, and which facilitated, like you said, this last edition match. I think it's weak sauce, quite honestly, but I'm saying all this to say I do not feel like they brought this man back to be a Rusev.
Why not?
I don't. Because
we didn't think Rusev was coming back to do what he did either.
Yeah, but unlike Rusev, he went straight at the jugular of a champion. And Trick just got this new belt. What better time than that have that newly shined belt and he just takes a razor and just shaves that Wookiee down. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much why I'm saying in that instance, and Trick will be fine. Trick will still be Trick. I think this will do Baron better than him losing. So that's why I got Baron Corbin for the win. Mark me down. Clock it.
I guess for me, before we go on to Mark by Wrestling, I think about Carmelo not being on the show. I think about Dragunov not being on the show. And those two, when I think about Trick losing the belt, those are the first two that come to mind. Ricky Sanks would be someone that if they wanted to, I'd be like, yeah. But
give me Corbin for Ricky. I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud?
Corbin, yeah, you did say it out loud. That's fine. But like for Corbin, it just feels like he just got here and we're just going to give him the belt over all these talents who have just worked their asses off to sniff it and not come close. I don't know. But Mark by Wrestling, how we feel about this match?
If we're doing Jesse Ventura impersonations, let me say I'll give credit where credit is due. Corbin is highly underrated once the bell rings. He has been solid for years as a worker. I think he's just been saddled with weird gimmicks and weird booking sometimes. But that dude can get hate. I mean, he gave an end of days to Becky Lynch when everybody loved her. And like, I mean, he knows how to be a heel. And I'm not saying that he's ready for it, but there will come a day where Trick Williams is going to lose that U.S. title to somebody we think doesn't deserve it, because Trick is not meant for the mid-card title scene.
Right. Absolutely.
He is going to move up. Now, I think it's way too early with the CM Punks and the Cody Rhodes and the Sami Zayns and maybe even the Kevin Owenses. Like, do not put him in that mix yet, please.
But eventually, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's in the cards. I in my heart of hearts, I feel like Corbin was brought back to be a little bit of a Rusev, to be somebody that their new guys can get over on and still establish as like, hey, you did beat somebody, you know, for this match. And also, again, to give Corbin credit, let me remind everybody, homie did a stint in NXT before he left. So he and Trick are not first timers with each other.
True.
So they probably already have some working chemistry. So I think this match, I'm not going to say it's going to steal the show because it's a big card. But I think it's going to over deliver. And I think it's going to be quite good. What I'm very curious, and this will tell me more than anything, as to how they see this version of Baron Corbin, is whether or not Trick kicks out of End of Days. Because that, before he left the first time, was the most protected finisher in WWE. Maybe by accident, but once they realized they were onto something, they started protecting it. And so if he kicks out of that, then they're like, oh no, that Baron Corbin is dead. This guy's just here to get the new guys over.
Like they used to do with Accolade.
Yeah. So as it stands, I'm curious about this. And listen, my heart goes out. I love Dragunov because I love anybody whose whole shtick is making it look like they're trying to hurt you
without hurting you. Yeah,
right. Exactly. That is pro wrestler masterclass right there. And I'm a fan of Mellows, but these guys have been left in the fridge for too long, and they're gonna have to get not microwaved. They got to get you got to preheat the oven before we see both of these. Before you see both of these guys back on the dinner table, okay? And like, I say that in love, as a fan of both men who wants to see them both succeed. But for everybody who's upset that they're not on the card, they ain't gonna be on any cards until they start getting heated up on TV. I'm hopeful that maybe both of those men will make the ladder match this fall in Money in the Bank. But Mello last year didn't even get to qualify. And I predicted he was going to win it last year, and he didn't even get to qualify.
Man.
So, I mean, I don't know what the disconnect is, but and since they didn't add him to this match, we'll see what happens. But Trick, by the way, I'm picking Trick to win this match. I don't think I said that.
Give us your thoughts in the community. Who you got winning this match? We gotta talk about Danhausen, ladies and gentlemen. Danhausen versus Dominic Mysterio, and it has been officially made. This match will be a Human Monies on a pole match, because why not? It's not like we got any more crazy shit to complain about when it comes to Danhausen. Let me just be blunt. The Raw segment was horrible. He needs something to make up for it. I don't know if this match is going to help, but I think Danhausen is an excellent talent. He's very entertaining. He is somebody, unfortunately, that is suffering from, like many other people who WWE gets their hands on and they have to put in your face 24/7. He gets overexposed. And I don't think he's at that point where it's like, get him off my television set. He's getting dangerously close, though. It's starting to worry me. And so there is a side of me that's like, Dom, beat him, do something where he's off TV for a couple of months and he comes back, right? Maybe there's something we can do there to where less is more, right? Just book him less and we'll be okay. Although I don't think that's what they're going to do here. I have a feeling because the Judgment Day is cursed, for that curse to maintain its presence and for it to mean something, it can't be broken. So unfortunately, I don't see Dom winning this match. I think Danhausen is going to somehow pull out the victory. I just have one thing, and this is all I'm going to say. Make it short, like max 7 minutes, 5 minutes to 7. I think that's a safe amount of time to where they can do some spots. It's not going to hurt them, and they can get whatever they want to get in with the antics and the comedy, whatever. Make it short and sweet. Don't make it forever like that Joe Hendry and Danhausen segment. I'm sorry, like that. It just wouldn't end. It just kept going. That was the problem with it. They didn't know when to cut it off, and so make it short. Everybody will be happy. I'm picking Danhausen to win. I don't know who y'all gonna pick, so that's all I'm gonna say about that. Mark by Wrestling, you can go next.
Listen, I'd like to bring everybody back to sanity because I think a lot of us, and when I say us, I don't mean the four of us. I'm assuming the IWC really overreacted to that segment. I think it's that segment's biggest sin. You hit it on the head, Alex, was that it ran too long.
Yeah,
I think if they had cut. And you know what? It might be the boxer's fault. Maybe he missed a cue. I don't know. But like, I'm not sure, which is why I don't like involving Netflix celebrities. I don't care that he's a real athlete. I didn't know who that man was. And I've been watching wrestling for 40, whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
He did not add to the pop in LA. Nevertheless. But I'll say this, 9 times out of 10, Danhausen, with what he's being used for, is a home run.
Yes.
And his opening, his debut at Elimination Chamber was a bit of a misstep just because the WWE universe didn't really know what to make of him with the way they did that. And then that one, the concert thing, I actually thought started off funny until they went through the relentless chorus. The lines were as funny to me as any of like Rock's concerts or Elias's stuff. And then they went into the song that never ends, that goes on and on, my friends. But
oh, don't get me started. I'll sing that.
Right. So it's already stuck in my head. So that was a misfire. But and also I'm not they didn't have to gimmick this match. They could have just called it a human monies match. Just using the phrase on a pole gives a certain generation of wrestling fan PTSD from the Vince Russo WCW years. And I'm one of them. So couldn't stand it. However, I'm here for the shenanigans because Danhausen is a shenanigans wrestler. And the more shenanigans you put with him, the less likely he is to get involved in title scenes. And that will be a real death knell. Is if somebody at TKO gets wind of Danhausen's popularity and is like, we should put a belt on him. No, you shouldn't.
God.
This is the corner of the show that Danhausen needs to stay in. So if it were up to me, I'm not actually going to put him on because the glasses look nice on the set back here. I'm going to pretend to put on the fantasy booking glasses. I would have Danhausen get help from El Grande Americano.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I would have him run in this match and do whatever El Grande Americano wants to do to Dom in that match. So we can remind everybody that something's going on south of the border. And that Danhausen wins the human monies. He takes the human monies and he relocates backstage for the next few months. So we only see the backstage segments. He's spending the human monies, cloning things, and we can keep doing the backstage segments with whatever you want to do. We can have a giant housing if you want. I don't know, or a medium-sized housing along with the mini houses. I don't care. Do
Any
whatever you
size
want to do.
works. Yeah.
Yeah. But whatever they do what they're going to do. And I would write Dom off of main roster TV. I would have him solely focus on AAA and build the feud with El Grande and their inevitable match for the mega title, and let him be a AAA talent, because Dom is going to be fire whenever he's fire. But I do think, going back to the stuff I said earlier, earmuffs, Roman, about the staleness of certain talent, I think Dom could be in danger of that too, because the Judgment Day has been very unevolved for a long time. Now they have a chance to shake it up again with Raquel and Liv. We talked about that earlier. I would just remove Dom from the picture. Let him do Dom things in AAA, get past Triple Mania, and then you can bring him back and they will be ready to hate him again. Honestly, I'm not saying this is what I want to happen, okay? But remember that Money in the Bank match where Brock Lesnar showed up at the end and stole the briefcase from Mustafa Ali?
Yep.
Could you imagine Dom showing up and stealing the briefcase? Because
Yes.
if Dom was ever going to be a world champion, he should be a briefcase stealer to get there.
So you're setting Dominic up to win the world title. That's what we're doing, which I love, by the way.
I think it's a given before that young man retires that he should be a world champion.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
He is a honky tonk Miz. Like, he's who we all thought JC Jane was in NXT until she proved everybody wrong. Is a rare, hated heel who everybody thinks will lose every title defense they have,
but keeps the belt anyways. Yeah.
Yes.
Damn.
Yes. You can't do that with everybody, and you're gonna have to pick your shot with who the champion is that he does that to. So you're gonna have to set the chess pieces up to have it, because you're not gonna have him do that to a Roman Reigns or to an Oba Femi. If you wanted to put the belt on LA Knight briefly, that would be a great opportunity to screw him out of it.
Damn.
Because it could work there. But anyways, I'm deviating. But Danhausen, keep it simple. I mean, don't keep it simple. You can shenanigan it up all you want, but just keep it straightforward. Yeah. Yeah. And sub 10 minutes. Sub 10 minutes.
Please. A and B, who you got winning this match?
Go ahead.
Okay, so here's the thing. Like, I agree about the Grande thing, right? Because Grande Americana is still a WWE superstar as well. And we haven't seen him over here. And first you had Dom come help him, then he abandoned him. So it would make sense for him to come and get involved, to cost Dom, so that Dom and him could carry that on in Triple A. However, I don't know how they would have him gone for an extended period of time with him and Liv. So I don't know, unless they're going to break up the Judgment Day, him and Liv and his closeness with JD, I just see him continuing to be everywhere. As far as Danhausen being overexposed, Dom is not overexposed. Dom is everywhere all the time on every channel. He was on NXT. He was on both shows. He's on Triple A. I mean, he's everywhere. And I know that some people in the chat think that he's ridiculous, but I don't know how long y'all been watching WWE, but we could just start Doink the Clown. We could go with we could go with the
gobbledygooker.
We could go with Little Jimmy, because he was invisible. It wasn't real. Yeah.
Go watch my New Generation trivia videos. Everybody had to have a job.
You had the boogeyman who was eating worms.
Yep.
I mean, we could just keep going. This is what WWE. Undertaker was buried alive and then came out of the grave. What and I loved Munsters growing up. So to me, they brought the Munsters to the show. That is always been a part of WWE. And if you don't like it, then you don't like all of what WWE is. It's never not going to be a part. That's why New Day was so over. The more ridiculous they got with unicorn horns and throwing pancakes into the audience. And some people hated that about them.
Before
some people
Gunther,
really liked it.
Before Gunther, the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion was an Elvis impersonator.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. And Honky Tonk Man was awesome.
He was.
So,
Well,
you know,
he beat Ricky Steamboat, so he's the devil in my book. But still, I agree.
Yeah.
He is an effective heel.
Right.
Very
so,
effective heel. Yeah.
Now, to me, part of the cringe of that was Joe Hendry. Let's not leave out that he was a part of that segment. It was a Joe Hendry concert.
That's true.
And maybe we don't feel like sitting through concerts anymore like that. You know, it could also be that he's not getting over up here like they thought he would. Joe Hendry either. So that's just my 2 cents. But I really do like what you were saying. I like the idea of him losing the match, because you assume he's going to win. And I know he's cursed, but he still has the rest of the Judgment Day. And even though Danhausen can't fight, he actually can wrestle. He's not going to try to come and be an amazing wrestler. That's just not what he's doing. And I think the Americana Grande, especially because he does have backup, would be really, really good to go against the Judgment Day and to get that feud going for AAA. So good. I'm going to also go with Danhausen for the win. Not because he's out wrestling anybody, but because of shenanigans.
Oh, yeah. And Chase H said, Mae Young giving birth to a hand. Let's just not forget.
Oh, gosh. I was trying to forget.
That was a thing.
Kai.
That was a thing. I'll simply say this. I was not a person that was really privy to Danhausen prior to AEW. But I wasn't even all in on Danhausen and even AEW even at that time. I just know stuff happened and he wasn't utilized the way that they thought, and that happens over there quite a bit. So it really wasn't until he came over here that I really started to pay attention to him. And like Mark by Wrestling said, his debut was definitely it missed the mark. I'll just say that much. It definitely missed the mark. Whoever's to blame for that, I'm not even going to get into it, but it definitely missed the mark. Is he overexposed right now to a degree? Well, yeah, I think the issue for me, and this is something that I haven't really thought about until recently, and I mean as in like this past week. The Danhausen curse is cool. I like it. It's once you're cursed, like that's it. Yeah. But much like streaks, much like records, they're made to be broken. I'm assuming in Danhausen's career at some point he's cursed somebody that the curse has been broken. I don't know. I'm
probably. Yeah, probably.
I'm just assuming.
Right.
So,
I don't know, but yeah, probably.
In my mind, I'm thinking we have a problem. We have the entire Judgment Day that's essentially cursed. I said, well, then on Monday night, here's Raquel. She actually beat the curse by winning. And then B says, well, technically, she wasn't really part of it. She wasn't like, yeah, you are cursed, like the Judgment Day, and you're part of it. So I don't know. I was saying to myself, is this a situation where this is going to be a breaking of that curse to some degree, or not? And if that is not going to be the case at this juncture, then that is an unfortunate thing for any match any other member of the Judgment Day is going to be in, because we already know how it's going to go. So it's just a question of how entertaining is that match going to be. So when it comes to this and the human monies and on the poll and what have you,
it's a Festivus miracle.
It is a Festivus miracle. And I tell you, I got a lot of problem with these people in creative, but Danhausen will win. That goes without saying. And I think the issue for me is this match, and I'll end it with this. Thus far, what I'm seeing with Danhausen, I'm not seeing like the money money shot, if you will. I'm not seeing, we're getting mini Housens, right?
Right.
We're getting a basketball player. What I'm seeing right now with WWE, I'm seeing a lot of pandering when they're in the big cities. I'm seeing a lot of pandering, which is interesting. But with Danhausen, I'm not seeing anything massive. I like the idea of a El Grande coming in and laying waste or doing something with him, because they are doing that whole thing. They got that whole thing going on in AAA. I love it. What I'm seeing in WWE is them not going forward with the big money shot, and they just giving us something else that we're just not quite expecting. I didn't expect
from the Vikings
many
is gonna
Housens
show up.
dancing. I didn't expect the Clippers ladies coming out. Like, I didn't expect any of that. That concert wasn't needed. It went on way too long. We could have had another female match on that card. Could have cut that segment in half. And I'm saying all that to say they're doing things with Danhausen that I don't necessarily mind, but at the same time, I'm not getting like the big, like, oh my gosh, Danhausen, he brought back. Like, it's not like he's gonna create this box, and we're thinking it's a big comeback of a Frankenstein, something like a Braun Strowman or something. I'm expecting something like that. Like when Danhausen first premiered, we thought it was going to be somebody colossal, and then when it was like womp womp, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Can I interject really quick? I actually do think that he still has a Frankenstein in the box, and I think the Frankenstein is going to be Shiloh.
Oh well, I'm not mad at that.
What did you just tell me yesterday, Marked? Yes.
I'm not mad at that.
What did I tell you yesterday?
He gave him a tooth, right?
That's right. Yeah. So when NXT break,
yeah.
everybody, Shiloh Hill had his tooth broken by Tristan Angels, and he went to Danhausen to get a new tooth. So Danhausen gave him one of his teeth out of his jar of teeth. So now Shiloh Hill's removable tooth is a Danhausen tooth. I don't know if the lore translates between brands or not. We'll find out.
I mean,
but he did.
So if that's
but he
how
did
you
win his match.
Yeah,
he did win his match
how you
last
bring
night.
Shiloh up. He comes out of that box, and he's his kind of like Undertaker. He's a big dude, Frankenstein dude. That would be cool.
I mean, and
Shiloh
I'm not mad at a
too.
Shiloh, but again, the issue is, like we've seen in the chat and in this live and on our live, there are a lot of people who still don't watch NXT, who really just don't know who Shiloh is. He's not like
really.
They knew
you
who
would
Trick
really
was.
have
They
to
knew
do.
who Oba was.
Yeah,
you would have to really do presentation. You would have to control the presentation, which they did with Trick and Oba, and they were over.
But it doesn't matter who Shiloh is, because if you make him like an Undertaker, you make him dark, his hair is kind of down, he's like a Frankenstein, he's just doing whatever he's told. Who cares who he is?
All I'm saying
is Kit Wilson and Cardona.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the big thing with him, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not expecting a whole lot, but I'm expecting. I stopped short of saying mediocrity. I don't want to say that. I'm just saying this match will be whatever it'll be, and I'm not expecting anything major. Danhausen will win. It'll be shenanigans with many houses or whatever. Like it'll be JD McDonough. It'll be silly. It'll be campy. We'll move on with our lives. But like you said, this doesn't need to be an Iron Man hour match. Let's just keep it short and sweet, and let's move on with our lives.
Please, like, honestly, the Grayson Waller promo should be longer than the match itself. I'm just being weird with you. But he wants to know, what was your reaction to the Waller promo? I only saw a bit of it on Twitter. I didn't see the whole thing. Did anyone here see the promo?
Loved it. We watched it.
Yeah.
Friggin' loved it. Loved it.
Yeah, I was watching it live. He spoke exactly. Like no lies detected. He cut an excellent promo on the state of the men's division in NXT and said everything that was true. And honestly, that's probably the best thing they can do with a Grayson Waller right now. And not only that, just a couple things real quick, since we're talking about Grayson Waller. One, Grayson Waller is an incredibly underrated heel when he's allowed to talk, because he's a guy that does not care about sounding cool. He cares more about being hated. And even when he's on talk shows and stuff, out in the world, out in the wild. And
like
two,
MJF.
yeah, to a degree. Yeah. And not only that, but it was a double indictment on how good he was cutting that promo at how bad all the other men in NXT are at cutting promos.
Yeah.
Like it sounded like just the one time, B, I promise I'm not hating. It sounded like that Cena Roman Reigns segment.
Oh yeah.
Where,
No,
where
that was
Cena
bad.
sounded completely comfortable and Roman just got lost that one time.
Wow.
Mhm.
I'm telling you, he looked like a man in a room with boys, which is not a good look for Tony D for sure. Or Mike Santana, who just got there. Cruz Montana. He's
Cruz
going by now.
Montana, unfortunately.
But,
They changed his name. Yeah.
But yeah, so like, yeah, Grayson needs to keep that energy. And I'm telling you now, within the next month, he could be, I would be totally comfortable with him being NXT champion and holding it until they have created a new trick or a new Oba in that company. Like,
honestly, like based off of what you're telling me about the promo, I haven't seen it yet, but if it's that good, yeah, throw the belt on him. He's the new standard. Like he's the new, you have to be this good to get off of NXT for the men. Because the women are destroyed. It's not even a contest. If I was to watch NXT, he said that? Good.
He said only 10% of this locker room is even ready to get called up right now, and they're all women.
Yo,
he eviscerated the men's division. Eviscerated them.
Yeah, the whole thing is on YouTube now, I think, Alyx. So you can.
Oh yeah,
and it's like on NXT's channel or whatever. It's worth the watch to everybody. Yeah, and he buried Austin Theory. He didn't bury the New Day, but he absolutely. I think he buried creative more than he buried New Day on that. But still, like it was something else.
And usually those types of promos don't work with me unless it's a certain type of person that can cut them. CM Punk is great with them. Cody's great with them. And other people are. So if Grayson can make it work, that's a great indictment on him. So I'll definitely check that out. And moving on to the women here, we got to talk about it. Look, I went off on the Liv and Io match. Y'all might want to back up for this one as well. Because the ladder match, the 5-woman ladder match to determine an interim, keyword interim, women's champion. Charlotte Flair, Jade Cargill, Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green. The mystery will be Nia Jax. I can pretty much guarantee you that will be her because she's been screwed for the last few weeks. I don't know if they're going to have someone like random
They've already announced a match for the last spot, and it's Julia and Lash Legend.
So she's not even going to be competing for it.
Nope.
Wow. That's screwed up. So Julia or Lash Legend, neither one of them's winning the match for sure. So here's the thing. I understand Rhea is a golden child for WWE. Who doesn't know that? At this point, if Homegirl can't even bend her knee, have her take the surgery, and I'll see you at the Royal Rumble. Like she's walking around, WWE is hoping magically her torn meniscus is just going to heal itself by, well, it was supposed to heal itself by this weekend. They pushed it off to late fall. Guys, I've seen this situation many times, especially with Seth Rollins in 2024. Seth Rollins just got the surgery and he was back in months. We're at the point now with Rhea where, just like with Liv, the title is just collecting dust and the division is suffering from it. I love Rhea Ripley. I hate the fact that she got hurt during this time, but quite honestly, I said this at the WrestleMania preview. I kind of wish that Jade Cargill just kept the belt. Honestly, we'd be in a better position if Jade just beat Rhea, and then who knows where we would be. But they decided to put it on Rhea. Now she's hurt. They don't want to take the belt off of her for some reason. And now we're put in a situation where whoever wins this belt is just keeping it warm for Rhea to come back. I'm not going to see who wins this belt as the champion. I'm going to see it as a placeholder, which should never be the case. But here we are. So if that's what we're doing, if this is going to be a placeholder, don't give it to Charlotte. Don't give it to Jade. Don't give it to Tiffany. Tiffany's already a champion. Give it to someone new. So in case you haven't figured it out, I'm going with Chelsea Green. I think Chelsea Green, and people are like, what? No, screw that. No, I can cuss. Fuck that. Give it to Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green to me is somebody that has been looking for an opportunity like this to show the world she is that girl. She is that lady. She could be the face of the women's division. She's practically the face of WWE Unreal. They have her on every show. Everything you give her, she's great. And I feel like if you give her this opportunity, I think she's going to do well with it. And again, does it matter No, because when Rhea comes back, she's just going to drop the belt to Rhea. Although I do believe if you do give this opportunity to Chelsea, she's going to take it and knock it out the park to the point where they might have to just keep the belt on her anyways. But regardless,
Absolutely.
in my personal opinion, take a risk. If there was ever an opportunity for them to take a goddamn risk and not do same old, give it to Jade, give it to Charlotte, or for Christ's sake, give it to Tiffany, have Tiffany hold 2 belts. We don't need that. Give it to Chelsea. Let her hold it for a couple of months. Well, I say a couple of months, but Rhea might not even be back. But whenever Rhea comes back, and then she can drop it to Rhea. But take the risk. Give it to Chelsea Green, and I think they're going to do it. That I'm going all in, chips in. Chelsea Green is my pick to win the interim women's championship. But Mark by Wrestling, I'm curious to know how you feel about this match and who you got winning.
All right. Process of elimination for trying to figure this out. First of all, it was completely stupid to introduce the idea of an interim champion in WWE.
Thank you.
We don't do interims in pro wrestling. Like, that's not a thing. Well, maybe it is in AEW. I know they've done it before, but but it was dumb then and it's dumb now. You already had a great template that one of your own heads of creative, the Heartbreak Man, Shawn Michaels, exemplified in 93 and 94. He lost his smile. He relinquished that title behind me over my shoulder. They did a battle royal. Razor Ramon won his first Intercontinental title, and then Shawn came back with his belt saying, I'm the real champion. And then we got one of the best ladder matches of all time at WrestleMania 10 with both belts hanging from the sky. We could have done that again. I mean, it's been 30 years since that happened. You could totally reheat that story and it would be great. But they didn't, so I'm just a cranky old man just whining about it. So whatever.
You too.
Nia Jax. So let's just go real quick. Jade got in this match because she was facing Nia Jax in her qualifying match, and Charlotte came in and interfered and beat up on Jade, which screwed Nia out of a spot.
Right.
Charlotte got in this match because she also was wrestling Nia, and Jade came in and attacked Charlotte and screwed Nia out of this match.
Oh,
actually, I do think it's great booking if they do one simple thing.
Okay.
Nia storms this match and
takes them both out.
Stupid word. Yes.
Yeah.
And takes them both out of the equation.
Okay.
Because Jade and Charlotte, I said this earlier, more storylines for women that don't involve a title.
Yes.
You can have those two just fight each other, do all that, make it happen. Julia and Lash, they are going to have that match the night before SummerSlam. You could plaster, you could take up the Slim Jim logo off the mat and just iron on the phrase afterthought and make that happen, which is unfair, by the way, to either of those ladies. Julia has gotten an awful deal since she's been called up.
Yeah.
And just had a rough go of it. She deserves better than that. Lash, if she had qualified sooner, I would like better chances for her. But yes, I don't think either one of them matters. So we're down to Tiffy and we're down to Chelsea. Dear Lord, do not threaten me with Tiffy holding both titles,
Please.
titles on that show. She's probably a wonderful woman in real life. This is not personal, but whatever they did to that young lady's character when they pulled her out of NXT and put her on the main roster, gave her one catchphrase and zero personality after that. Like, it is, talk about Grayson Waller talking about charisma vacuums in NXT. Man, like, I am just agitated when I see her, which is so unfair to her because she tries really hard in the ring. Like, she's not a bad wrestler, but I'm like so not invested in who she is.
She's a good wrestler.
Yeah. But a boring character, like, and she deserves better than that. So I don't want to see her with one title, let alone two right now, which leads me to the inevitable conclusion. which I'm kind of burning at a little bit because I had predicted Chelsea would win Money in the Bank this year. I thought that was the call, but obviously I didn't know this was going to happen when I predicted it.
Right.
Yes, you 100%. I've been saying it all night. I've been saying it for weeks. Take risks. Use this opportunity. You're already devaluing the title by calling it an interim title.
Yeah.
Go ahead and slap it on Chelsea and let her run this thing into the end zone and make you guys second guess whether or not to take it off of her when Rhea comes back, because she will do it. And I see in the chat they're like, "Oh, well, SummerSlam's in Tiffany's home state." No. See, we're doing the home state thing with another match.
Yeah.
We're 100% doing the home state thing with another match, and it's going to be big and glorious. And I'm probably going to cry a little bit when it happens. But nevertheless, give Chelsea Green her shot. She will throw the ball, catch it herself, run into the end zone, spike it,
perfect,
do an end zone dance. Yes, she will Mr. Perfect this thing. And you know what? When Rhea comes back, if you're not doing anything with her yet, introduce Blake Monroe into the situation, not as like an underling of Chelsea's, but give her a little, because you got rid of, we didn't get rid of Piper. God bless Piper. I hope she's healthy, whatever she's going through. Right. But they got rid of Alba Fire. They got rid of all her mercenaries. Yeah. So come on, give her somebody to work off of, and she will shine. Chelsea all the way. I will say this. I will say this with the utmost confidence. It's the only choice that makes sense.
Yes.
Right now.
Yes.
Because any other pick, you were kind of for my money, with any other pick in this match, you're kind of insulting the audience.
Yep.
Because you're either making Nia look stupid with Jade or Charlotte. You're making all of us feel stupid if you're going with Tiffy, or you're insulting the whole rest of the roster if you're putting both your singles titles on one woman. And Julia or Lash, you're insulting our intelligence by just slapping it on somebody who added at the last minute, who neither of them have that kind of heat behind them right now. I'm not saying they can't, but they can't in 2 days. Yeah, give it to Chelsea.
Hell yeah. How we feeling about A and B?
I mean, I want Chelsea, and I want so much for them to give it to her. And I agree that because it's interim, they probably will be like, well, it's just interim. Just let her finally hold it. Everyone could shut up, because they got so much heat when Michael Hayes said that on the last Unreal.
Yeah.
He got chewed out in that creative meeting.
For that.
For real.
Heat for that. So I really hope they do the right thing. I do think they are going to ultimately put a belt on Lash. I don't think it's time yet.
Of course. Yeah.
And so I feel like with Nia interfering, then it wouldn't make. I'm thinking maybe Lash doesn't even make it up there. That Julia might even cheat or something, but I don't know, because she'll have Nia to back her up. So I'm not sure, but I'm sure that if Lash gets to that, but they shouldn't do that with Lash yet, because otherwise, what are you doing with Julia? Are you really just gonna? You have to at least push her towards this. Otherwise, that just shows us they've just decided not to invest in her at all, and that's kind of cray-cray to me. So, but I also do have Chelsea. Yes.
Awesome. What about you, A?
Okay, well, look, I think a Charlotte Flair. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I'm not going to go against the grain on this. Nothing else makes sense, like you had said. Charlotte Flair is proving right now that she absolutely does not need to have a title around her waist to get over with the fans. The fact that she is teamed up with Alexa Bliss and got over the way that she did, she was in her bag, and that's fantastic.
After they hated her,
they teased it, a little bit, and this is fine. You can put her in this. Cool. I have no qualms with it. Got no qualms with it. Elevate some other talent. No problem with it whatsoever. I would love for Nia Jax to come in here. I would hate for that to be a wasted opportunity. The fact that she did get screwed out of her shot, and yeah, they did show Lash Legend, like, okay, Lash Legend, you're going to go in here and okay, cool. I don't really care, quite frankly, if Lash or Julia win. I really don't. What I want to see is Nia Jax get her lick back, and that is an absolute must. I think Nia Jax is going to be a factor in this match. She absolutely must be a factor in this match. But Chelsea Green is somebody that is, you want to talk about underrated, and she shouldn't be. Michael Hayes, I sincerely hope that he slapped himself back to factory settings.
Down the bad street.
Because he was dead wrong. And you saw, like you said, in Unreal this last season, Triple H talking about Chelsea Green. She is somebody that will take anything you throw at her and make it gold. He said it. That's just reality. So I think we're at a point now where it's like, we're going to set you up for some success. Whether or not she has a long run with it or not remains to be seen. But when she got the U.S. title, she made that thing a gold. Okay?
Yes.
Gold. Everything this woman does, and it warms the cockles of my heart, because she is somebody that genuinely loves the business. She's somebody that genuinely loves to entertain the fans. She doesn't take herself seriously, but she's also a good wrestler. She's good on the mic. She's just good. And part of my language, she's just damn good.
There it
and
is.
I think it's about damn time that we put some respect on that name. And I said respect with a K. Put some respect on that name and get this woman that win and make her the interim champ. I've said what I said.
Ladies and gentlemen,
AJ Rahim.
Across the board, ladies and gentlemen. I love to hear.
We're all pledging allegiance.
For real, for real. Do you guys pledge allegiance? Let us know in the community. All right, these last three matches are going to be a breeze, because I think any one of these three have the potential to be match of the weekend. And I got to start with this one. We're in Minnesota, so we got to give it to the hometown boy himself. The Intercontinental Championship is on the line. Penta defends the belt against Chad Gable. Listen, I don't know how you guys feel about 2026 so far, but I have a feeling by the end of the year, we might be looking at the wrestler of the year right now with Chad Gable. And I mean that. His stuff with El Grande Americano, I have a feeling this match is going to be fantastic. It has to be. If it's anything like their first match when Penta first debuted, it's going to tear the house down. The story is there. It's so perfect. It's so ripe. Chad Gable has struggled way too long. Let me remind you, the only belt he has won since he's been on the main roster is the tag team titles with Jason Jordan, and that was 10 years ago.
American Alpha, baby. Never
American
forget.
Alpha. 10 years he has not touched gold. This man has been through it all. The bad and
those belts were silver.
Oh, Jesus, you're right.
And that's before they knew Kurt Angle was Jordan's daddy.
Jesus Christ.
That was a Nepo win.
I say that to this day. I say it to this day.
That was before Shorty G. Anyways, he's been through a lot. And look here, the guy, every time you give him something, he turns it into gold, literally. And I didn't mean to do that. No pun intended. He turns it into gold. And we've all been like, when are you going to give the guy something? You know what? I feel like if there's ever a time to give him the belt, it's got to be here. I think they're going to do it for sure. Chad Gable's winning the belt. But do you understand how angry that crowd will be if they had Penta win this match? Like, what are you doing? Like, you might as well just go ahead and give Tony Khan your audience at that point. No, I think Chad Gable, it's been a long time coming. This is his moment. It's going to be emotional because it's something that we've been wanting, he's been wanting, and the story calls for it. Predictability, is it predictable? Yes, but sometimes predictability is exactly what it needs to be because that's what creates moments. So I'm going to give it to Steven in just a second, but yeah, Chad Gable all the way. Thank you. Marked by Wrestling, who you got winning?
Sometimes Superman stands across the room from Lex Luthor, and you know it's only going to end one way, but it's still really good.
Yeah.
I am loving this story. I am a sucker for any kind of actually earnestly told redemption story in wrestling. I think it's when you stop being silly or self-referential or like too insider or too cool about it, and you just take the risk to actually have emotions in the story that you're telling. Man, when somebody once said, a lot of wrestling sucks, but when wrestling's good, it is freaking great.
Yeah.
And there is an opportunity to have one of those moments for some kid sitting there who's probably wearing a Yeet t-shirt or a Cody jacket, who's probably not even in middle school yet, gets to see Chad Gable win that belt, and he will remember that when he's my age.
Mm-hmm.
Like these are the kinds of things, like the way they have threaded this story across multiple brands, across several months, of him starting off saying, I'm going to go to the, it sounds like the Paddington movie, the deepest, darkest, luchador countries to learn the dark arts of lucha libre, and all this stuff. And then we got the joke version of El Grande Americano, which somehow birthed one of the most popular superstars of the entire year, from the native fan base in AAA. And like
of the year.
Yeah, arguably the match of the year.
Yeah.
And then he comes full circle after unmasking, saying, this is who I am, this is who I want to be. And then him going on an apology tour to other luchadors, and all of them forgiving him too, like the earnestness and the forgiveness. And then side plot, you use that to finally pull the trigger and facilitate the Maxine heel turn. Like, don't let any troll on the internet tell you that WWE isn't doing good booking. Like,
right,
multiple plates were spinning with this story, and this is the dessert.
Mm-hmm.
This is the last piece of the puzzle for multiple stories right now. I guess you could argue El Grande maybe getting the mega title from Dom could also be that, but yeah, I mean, Gable's he's like, again, sometimes the ball just comes right over the plate, and all you got to do is swing.
Swing it. Yep.
Just all you got to do is swing. Don't overcomplicate it. Give him the win. Gable all day. I'm going to cheer. I'm going to try not to cry. I'm going to, like, because they're going to put his kids in the front row.
Oh,
I know.
yeah.
And it's going to be the healing moment that Gunther destroyed when he lost it the first time. They'll probably show that video again before the match and all that stuff. And not for nothing, this is what I would do in the aftermath. I would have Gable do a Bret Hart style, not an open challenge, but say, every one of you dudes in the mid card, I don't care if you're Rusev and Ethan Page, I don't care if you're Javon or Rey Mysterio, all of you can come get it.
Okay.
And he wrestles every week
open
on
challenge
Raw against it again. Well, I wouldn't call it open challenge because I would have them announce ahead of time who he's going to fix.
Okay, fair.
I wouldn't let that be a surprise. That's the only thing I mean by not an open challenge, is that we would know ahead of time. And I would bring Phoenix over, and we get the Lucha Brothers to take on the Vision.
I love what you're doing with this. And you can use them as a way to bring up NXT talent as well. He can be the door that opens it for them. And even if they lose, they get over in defeat. I see what you're doing. That's smart.
100%. And Chad is the kind of guy you could trust in the ring to do that.
Yeah.
You could bring Shiloh Hill up for that. You could bring, you've seen some of these dudes, some of these guys, y'all don't know because you don't watch NXT, and I'm not shaming you, but like names like Sean Legacy or Dorian Van Dukes, some of these guys are nasty work in the ring. If they got in the ring with Gable, would be crazy work. So anyway, that's what I do. Gable all day. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Don't overcomplicate it.
A and B, who you got winning this match?
Oh, we both have Gable. I mean, y'all said, I mean, what? What? Of course he's winning.
I'm gonna wholeheartely agree. The fact that it started with Penta, it's gonna end with Penta.
Full circle.
This is just the way it has to be. He did what he did, and he went rogue. He if you want to call it Anakin, Darth Vader, back to Anakin, you call it what you will. All right, call it what you will. I love the fact that Stephen, you use Superman as an example. There's that lovely song. There's some things you just don't do. You don't spit into the wind. You don't tug on Superman's cape, and you don't mess around with Jim. And he, in fact, is that guy.
Yeah. You don't
Shorty
mess with
G, Chad Gable. You just don't mess with Gable
Don't mess
in
with
this,
Chad.
in this situation. So, quite frankly, in his hometown, what better way than to get that big win, his first singles title in his entire WWE career?
Man,
Amen.
come
Amen.
on. That's what
This is,
WWE's for, man. Those are the
and
moments.
you have two guys that can go. They can go. This match might, wrestling wise, it might steal the show that night. I don't know.
Yes.
Might steal the weekend. Yeah, for sure.
It might. These are guys that
really
can
could.
go, and I'm excited to see it. So yeah, Chad Gable all day.
Man, speaking of people who can go, this is another match I'm looking forward to. Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor. The winner gets a WWE Championship opportunity. And on paper, it kind of feels like Sami is the obvious choice to win. You know what? This is another one where I'm like, the last time Finn Balor held the WWE title, well, the Universal, which is actually the WWE Championship, 10 years ago, the last time he touched it, he hasn't been world champion since. And I have a feeling Triple H eventually is going to give him that belt. That's why he moved him to SmackDown. Triple H loves him some Finn Balor. Who doesn't? And he's getting up there. How old is he? 45, 40, 44, 45?
I don't know. He looks 25. I hate that man's abs. It's crazy work.
He looks incredible. He looks like he can go another 10 years. I know that for sure. And
45. He's 45.
And look here, Punk is 48, 47, 48. He's got plenty of time. So Finn is going to become WWE champion. It's in the books. I do have to wonder how we get there, knowing what the main event scene looks like, but that's what makes it great. Here's the thing. Sami is way too good. Sami Zayn, something clicked after that feud with Trick Williams. I didn't know. I don't know what he did. He figured something out. He was able to take what was given to him and turn it into something that nobody else is doing. And I say it every week when he always does it. He always does it, B. And I say it every week when he's on SmackDown. This guy is the most compelling character on SmackDown, and it's not even close. So when he got the championship, I was like, please keep it on him. I knew he wasn't going to hold it for long, but I'm like, come on. You know you're going to get something special out of him. And then he lost it. I was disappointed. Within hours, I saw that backstage promo where he lost his mind. He called out WWE. He shat on CM Punk for coming in and being gone for months. And I said, oh my God, he's figured it out. He has it. And now we're at that point where, okay, now when he gets the belt, he's going to mean something because it's not the belt making him. It's him making the belt. This is where you should be before you become champion. So, God, I love Finn. This is Sami's match to win. We got to have Sami win this match. And we got to I had CM Punk winning. We got to do Sami and CM Punk. That is a match made in heaven, those two. And Sami Zayn he's going to play himself as the Punk from 15 years ago, taking on the villain, the hero who became a villain, CM Punk. That's the storyline they want to go with. That just screams awesomeness. Do I see Sami winning the championship? At this point, I'm going to be real with you. They can keep it away from him as long as they want, because I feel like whatever they do with him, he's going to make it into something, tell a story with it, and then by the time he gets the championship, I'm just going to appreciate it even more. So, yeah, I know people love Finn. I'm going with Sami Zayn here. Sami Zayn's my pick to win. A and B, who you got winning this match?
No, you go ahead.
I'll tell you what's interesting. Danny Truth Magnified, he says something here in the chat I think is interesting. Says Trick Williams beat Sami Zayn, and a month later, Trick is feuding with Baron Corbin, and Sami Zayn is getting world title shots.
Interesting. That's true.
Not all about wins and losses, ladies and gentlemen.
That is a very interesting. I mean, no lies detected there. I'm not mad at what you're saying here. And for my money, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not terribly interested in this match. I'm really not.
Fair.
I'm not really sure how I feel about Finn being in this. I was expecting something big with him and Damian Priest, and that didn't really go the way that I thought it was going to go. And now Damian Priest is doing whatever he's doing, playing kind of double duty. I don't really know what aside from winning a match and just getting one step closer to be a number one contender. I don't really see the benefit for Finn Balor in winning this match, truthfully.
Okay.
So I'm simply gonna go. I'm gonna go Sami Zayn. I think Sami Zayn. If you're gonna keep this momentum hot on this man, Finn can do whatever Finn's doing. I don't quite frankly know what he's doing. I really don't. I feel Finn right now is a little, como se dice, directionless in some respects. He's just kind of he's like a floater, if you will. He's just doing whatever he's doing. Sami Zayn, he's on something right now. He's on one, and in order to continue with that momentum, all gas, no brakes with it. And I'll be honest with you, I'm a little salty because I thought I'd be doing a lot more disagreeing with you homeboys tonight, and I'm not. But that's okay.
Nothing wrong with a little harmony.
Yeah, a little harmony. But yeah, I'm gonna say Sami Zayn for the win.
Who you got, B?
So the thing is,
Here we go.
Woo!
that number one, they are clearly pushing Finn lately.
Yeah.
They are, and Sammy's whole gimmick is better when he loses because it's part of his complaint. He's the last good guy, and they screwing him, and the ref counted wrong, or I could just see it now. This fits into his being screwed somehow, and everyone's against him. Kind of like his conspiracy theory thing. And I just think that right now they're pushing Finn. So I'm gonna disagree. I got Finn for the win.
Man, that's great. And that's crazy too, because you're absolutely right. What makes this work is the fact that he keeps getting screwed, that he keeps failing. So for this gimmick to continue to work, there has to be obstacles. I get what you're coming. I get where you're coming from with that, B. The thing is though, Finn wins, that means he gets a championship opportunity. Does he win that, or is it he's just a placeholder, just for someone to beat? That's the question we have.
I mean, I think CM Punk is a placeholder, but just
Damn placeholder.
Shots fired.
Love that. That's crazy. Well, on that note, Mark by Wrestling, take us home here. Who you got winning this match?
Yeah. So interestingly enough, there's a line in this season of Unreal where Triple H says, it's not about the moves, it's about what you do in between the moves.
Yeah.
And even pointed out that there's still veterans now who are still like figuring that out now and everything. Like, and that's the secret sauce. That is the mortar that keeps the bricks together and being a great wrestler. I would adapt that adjacently and say it's not always about the title, but what happens in between the titles as well. The chase to it, what you do when you get after it. Because Liv Morgan has a title, and we spent several minutes talking about that not really doing anything for us, right?
Right.
And Sami Zayn is like on his third career-defining character arc.
Yeah.
Since joining WWE.
Feels like third or fourth for real. Yes.
He had the conspiracy theory. He had Sammy Uso. He's doing this like different. I mean, the conspiracy thing is it's a little close to what he's doing now, but like the way he's approaching it is different, and it feels new again. And I mean, B is right. Like it can feed that more if he loses. And I would just like to take a quick second to apologize just to all of you for what I'm about to say. Wholeheartedly, because I don't mean any ill will in this, but I have not had one lick of interest in Finn Balor since he was murdered by the Fiend.
Jesus.
And it's not that I'm blind. He is a good wrestler. He seems like a solid dude. He does all the right stuff. He's got the right attitude. And I connect with him zero miedo. Like he does not do it. He does not do it for me. And I don't get it. Like maybe I need to get my head examined, but like he is like somebody who would be an AEW champion to me. Like,
of course,
like he's just a good wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that is the vibe for some people. And if that is what gets you, if that's what makes you believe when you're watching wrestling, God bless you, man. More power to you. I need more than that. I cannot eat my pizza just plain cheese. I don't care how good the cheese is. You guys slap something on there. And Finn did for a while, but the demon thing is, I never understood the rules or the universe of the demon in WWE. Like, I just take him out when I'm really mad, but that still wasn't enough to beat Roman. I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
And so all that is not it. And so, listen, I'm just with play the hot hand. Like, Sammy is on, again, his like third or fourth generational run, which is wild when you really sit down and think about it like that. Most wrestlers don't get one.
Right.
And he's had multiple. So I'm picking Sammy to win. But in light of what B's saying, I'm not sure that he wins his title match, though. I think he falls short again and descends into madness. Because sometimes losing is better for his character than winning. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, honestly, insanity worked for Naomi until Baby Uso came along. So who knows?
And then she'll be back and be insane again, man. It'll be crazy. But
she'll be never mind. Yes, she'll
be
real quick. Mama Naomi.
I loved your pizza analogy, because when we were on vacation on location in New England, I'm sure you guys remember that movie, or I don't know if you even saw it. Mark Barbarossa, I'm sure you did. Mystic Pizza.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts.
And it's literally a pizza place in Mystic, Connecticut. It's very close to where I grew up. And I've been there countless times, but I've never really been to Mystic Pizza until we went. It's got all the pictures. It's all the glitz and the glamour and everything that you would look, and it's a very lovely town. You go in here and you're thinking, we're going to have Mystic Pizza.
And there's two of them now. Yeah.
The famed Mystic Pizza. And no offense, but that pizza was trash.
It was not good.
That pizza was trash. And you can dress it up how you want, but lipstick on a pig is still a pig.
Not nearly mystic enough.
I hear you with
Miss
you're
Piggy
saying
takes offense
in regards
to
to Finn Balor. He's a good wrestler. I don't mind him on the mic. I love the fact that he brought back his old theme music. We will do the whole thing, but there's something missing. And
something's missing.
The only thing we like about Finn is doing that when he comes out. I mean, it's fun. Other than that,
I'm sorry, I just had to throw that.
I only have him for the win because
I thought they were gonna put him with Shin and Tama Tonga and then once he was like, "Do you like me? Check yes or no." Tama was like, "Nope," and I'm like, "Well, great." There goes that.
And that's so stupid. That would have been a great faction that bonded in Japan and then came over here. And instead, the Tongans are going home. They're getting released on the next.
Yep. They're about to be
absolutely. They're done. Yep. And the fact that they are wasted that, and they could have, like you said, him and Shinsuke. And I really thought the three of them would have been a really strong faction.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the main event of the evening. Thank all of you. We had 330 people watching this live stream across all platforms. You guys are awesome.
Thank you, guys.
If you want to check out these lovely people, their channels are in the description. And once again, community, give us your thoughts with the community link. Let him know what you guys are feeling. Let's wrap it up strong with the main event of the entire weekend, the big match. Roman Reigns defends the World Heavyweight Championship against Seth Rollins. We're talking 14 years of history from the day they debuted as the Shield to where we are right now. This is a match that I thought, quite honestly, we were going to see at WrestleMania. We're getting it here at SummerSlam. How we got here, we can complain about how we got here. It was stupid to not have Seth win King of the Ring. They should have had him win King of the Ring to set this match up, to have Oba win it, and then to have Seth beat Braun Breaker and then just challenge for him. I just think that was just was just late.
Agreed.
But you know what? Because of the lore that these two have, and let's just call it like it is. We talk about Superman and Lex Luthor. This is what that is. This is Superman and Lex Luthor. This is Batman and Joker. This feels like the culmination of an actual long-term feud. And I think they're going to have a great match. I would be flabbergasted if they went in there and stunk up the joint. Oh my goodness, wouldn't that be embarrassing? I don't think they are though. I think we're going to be good. This needs to end. We need to bring this to an end. Seth Rollins said it himself. Hey, we're in our 40s now, man. We're getting up there. It's getting to the point where time is passing us on. We need to move on from this. And the only way to close this story off is for Roman to get his revenge. We saw Seth stab him in the back 12 years ago. And we've been waiting for Roman to get his back. Every time he had an opportunity to, Seth always got one up over him. He has yet to beat Seth. He has yet to beat Seth when the championship is on the line. Seth has always gotten the one up over him. This is the moment where he needs to get that win. Close that door, exercise those demons. Roman finally beats Seth Rollins, hits him in the back with a steel chair, and he just moves on from it. And yeah, I think that's what they're going to do. I see no other way, no other course of action to take here. I saw people online saying, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to bring in no Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson this time. He doesn't need to show up here. But I saw people making that prediction. No, this is just going to be Roman and Seth. This just needs to be Roman and Seth. Roman can go on to fight Oba right afterwards. I would like for Oba to show up here just to let people know this is what's next after he beats Seth. I don't think we need to do it here. I think we can do that immediately on Monday Night Raw. Just have Roman confront Oba and let people know this is where we're going next. And that's what it needs to be. It doesn't need to be anything else. Don't overcomplicate it. They're going to have an excellent match. Let the story be what it is. Roman finally gets his comeuppance over Seth. And that's the end of it. Roman wins. There we go. That's how I think it's going to go. A and B, how we feeling about this main event?
I mean, look, you're asking me if I'm going to go for Roman and you ain't Roman. I mean,
come on, player.
I mean, I was trying to put his one up, but he's too buff to get his, so.
I swear.
This one over here.
I swear.
So she's going for Seth Rollins. No, I'm joking. She's going for Who you got, A?
I got the Tongan death grip. No. Sorry. Wouldn't do that all night. Can I be honest with y'all?
Go for it.
Can I be honest with y'all? I can appreciate the fact that this is the main event of night 2. My interest in this match isn't where it should be. And
Fair.
That's really because these promos have sucked.
They had one good promo. One good promo.
Yeah, they have one solid promo. One
Yeah.
solid promo for this massive feud. This massive feud that goes back some years. The major issue that I have with this is I feel like this was just manufactured out of nothing. And now I say that to say,
it was.
I say that to say, yeah, they have history. But we've seen this also with like even Charlotte Flair, and I think it was Rhea Ripley, where you're trying to just do something. We've got history. We had a thing where there was really nothing for a long time in between them, and like let's just throw something together.
Yeah.
And I felt like that for a while when Undertaker, especially after he lost to Brock, and they were still bringing him back, and I'm like, who really cares about your streak anymore? I don't really care about seeing you at WrestleMania. You lost. It's snapped. So at this point, it's tainted as far as I'm concerned. You come back a month before WrestleMania, you manufacture a feud out of nothing. Now, granted, and then you had these years where you're facing the same person twice. But those promos, those things that they were doing, it was a bit more engaging. You know what I mean? So at least it brought me to the dance. I'm like, okay, you guys, you piqued my interest. The people's eyebrow has been lifted. I now want to see what you guys are gonna do. That hasn't been the case here. It really hasn't. Seth did whatever he did with the Vision. That went back and forth and back and forth. And I don't really even feel like that fully resolved like it should have resolved. And then now I got nothing. So let me let's just go with Roman. Yeah, let's just go with Roman. Okay. Hey, man, we got more years behind us than in front of us. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. But seriously, that's why I'm going back to Unreal. I don't know if you guys wrote this. I don't know if you guys said, because I know LA Knight, he's at a point where he said himself, he just wants to go out here and just kind of do whatever he does. I don't know if you guys wrote your promos. I don't know if the people back there wrote your. I don't know what happened here, but there was a major disconnect. And the one thing, and I said this on our show many a time, when Roman said it's like missionary over and over every single night. That's what it was feeling like. And I'm sorry to be crass. I apologize, but that's what it felt like more often than not with these two just going at each other verbally. I'm just like, can we just cut to it already? Can we just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're boring me, dude. You're boring me to sleep. And then then there's a part of me that feels like they're grimacing and like they're trying to remember what do I say next? What's the zinger? All right, how about I hit you with this one, Roman? I hope your kids are gonna be like, really? That's it? That's the best
way past that. We're way past that now.
You know what I mean?
Really turning it up, right?
So that's where I'm just like, at this point, Roman will win. Absolutely. I agree with B. Roman will win. Roman does need to win. That much I will say is true, but I don't need to hear it all the time. Like, come up with some new material. It's like, I hate this, like with Mark by Wrestling. Remember with Putty, I'll come up with some new stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you need to come up with some new stuff. Do something other than the counterclockwise swirl. I'm done.
Well,
sorry, it's a sign.
What a way to end it.
Sorry, I
Mr. Mark by Wrestling.
Wait a second for that one.
Yeah, as you process what just happened, take us home. 14
Sounds
years.
like an Arby's night.
14 years. WrestleMania main event. Who you got winning this final match of the show?
I'm so mad about this match for multiple reasons. This should be a climactic close. So one of the longest running callback stories they've done in a long time.
Yeah.
They've managed to book their way, whether on purpose or by accident, into Roman never beating Seth. And it's very much giving to me when Roman finally beats him, that's going to be the last time they ever face each other.
Right. Which
I do think is the right call. But I think doing it now is a mistake. This has been a heatless build for me. The fans in these segments are just clapping like trained seals. All they know how to do is sing Seth Rollins' song or chant OTC, OTC. And they are not even engaging with the actual feud, which honestly, I can't fully blame them because I don't think Seth or Roman are doing a good job of selling it. Nope. Tell me this right now. Roman, are you number one and Seth isn't on your level, or do you need to beat him? Because if he's not on your level, why do you need to beat him?
That's true.
You can't bury him if he's the one mountain you haven't climbed. If he's the one thing that the face of this company for the past 5 years, 6 years, the head of the table, the tribal chief, one's in the air, blah, 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 all of this, make 10 times, exactly, no pop, all the digs over the years. If you actually need to beat him, convince me that you do, because in one side of your mouth, you're saying, I've got to win. And then the other side of the mouth, it says, you're not worth my time of day. You are killing the heat of this feud. And I'm not necessarily blaming Roman for that. Like these might be lines they're getting fed, right? You know. But at the same time, I said this. By the way, y'all go to y'all subscribe to A&B's podcast. We talked about. They invited me on, and we talked about the latest season of Unreal. Check them out, and they do great work there. And we talked about this is that when you are the bull of the woods, as Dusty Rhodes would say, if you're the king of the jungle, if you are the badass, there should always be one guy. It only has to be one, maybe two, who makes you quiver just a little bit.
Mm.
And Roman hasn't done that for anyone
Yet.
And I swear, and I swear on all my fandom, if he gets matched up with Oba and doesn't do it for him, I will write a strongly worded letter. I don't know. I'm not going to do anything, but
Yelp review.
I will not stand. Yeah, I will 1 star. I will not stand by and placate creative for all the work that Brock is doing to build a new monster for Roman to swagger his way into that feud, if that's what they're giving us. I don't know. It seems like an obvious direction, whatever. I just want Roman to take a chance. It's ironic. AJ already mentioned that insult that he gave to Cena way back when about his repetitiveness, because that's who Roman is now.
Right.
The same thing every time he comes out. And listen, if I got paid millions of dollars to come out, throw my finger in the sky, tell the new city that we're in to acknowledge me, and go home and get to hang with my kids, it's not a bad gig. It's not a bad gig at all.
Right.
But I say all this because they have a tremendous opportunity to tell a wonderful story to close the book on this storied rivalry. And they took this delicious burrito and they got it from 7-Eleven instead of getting home. It's Batman and the Joker, but it's Ben Affleck and Jared Leto. It's not
Love
like
it. Yes.
I'm so upset about it because I expect more.
Right.
Because of all the things that they've been doing this whole time up until the very recent time. Like I in my fantasy booking, and I've made fun of this, WWE creative is bad because they don't listen to my fantasy booking, whatever. But nevertheless, in that vein, I always wanted to see Roman finally beat Seth closer to the real end of both their careers and have them make up after it's over. Like beating Seth lifts a fog for Roman and be like, I've done this and I kind of don't hate you anymore. Like I finally got what I needed. And it's going to be stupid if they try to do that now.
Oh no.
So anyway, end of the day, I don't see any kind of interest in Seth being champion going forward. Like, of the two and the pathways we have going forward, Roman is the most interesting, especially if Oba is going to be waiting in the wings and if he's going to allow Jacob and the Usos to be standing in the ring with him again after this and they come back together. But I'm picking Roman to win because I think WWE is going to do the Bloodline World Order, and we're gonna have to sit through it, and I just hope it gets better. I have high expectations because all of those men are very talented, and they could be doing a lot better than they're doing right now. And frankly, creatively, I think they're all being a little lazy. I don't know whose fault it is, but it's someone's. And they should take a risk, freshen it up a little bit. Either way, I think the best way to achieve that is keeping the belt on Roman. Roman wins.
Can I just say something really quick before you read this? Just because this
Go for it.
This chat is changing the station channel. I'm tired. The subject. I just want to say really quick that I think that a reason that they're out of things to say is because when they threw them together at the I think Royal Rumble in like 2022 at the last minute, because Roman's opponent got COVID. And so they were like, okay, Seth, you're his, I think they had one promo. It was like, your match is this weekend. That one promo was great.
Yeah.
And then they did it again recently with him and but Punk was in there. And that little time they had together was great. And I feel like they were like, well, we already said everything we had to say. And maybe they should have told the writers, we need some help. Maybe they should have went to people who are, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think that they were scared to say the same stuff they said the last 2 times, but that was the stuff that made it so good. So,
Yeah.
because the last 2 times we were like, "Ooh, that was so good. This is going to be great." But they were like, "No, that was all we had."
This is it.
Well,
We're done.
and
that was it.
on top of that, Roman just got done telling Punk, "You're old," and he beat Punk. And what's the first thing Seth said to him when he challenged him? "Hey, brother, you and me are getting old." Oh,
I'm like,
great.
okay, great.
Oh, well, why don't you just lay down for the 3 count now, Seth? Like,
Jesus Christ.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, they don't watch some. I swear, some of these guys don't watch the show that they're on.
No, they live in their own heads, and they think they know. It's kind of scary when you give. I'm not saying Roman or Seth have creative freedom or anything like that, but a lot of these wrestlers, when you give them that freedom, where it's like, hey, y'all drive the feud, just go out there and say what you want to say. At first, you start thinking, oh, this is going to be great, and then once they have the power, you realize, oh, you're really not that creative at all. You really, unless you have a Paul Heyman or someone driving it for you. This isn't gonna be good. You know what I mean?
Some people need to have the bumpers on when they're bowling. And like, listen, that's just reality.
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
You know, John Cena is somebody that I think by himself, not the best, but you get him in a room with some of the best minds. Yeah. You see him create magic. And let me wrap things up with this super chat here from BW Rosa. Does it seem to any of you that WWE is rehashing the 96 Sunny manipulation angle with Maxine being in the Vision and duping Otis? Could that be the role? I'm actually surprised that the Vision is not on this show, because I swear to God, I would have thought the Vision and Alpha Academy would have been an easy tag match to do. They decided, once
they dog walked Alpha Academy on Monday, I was like, well, they ain't gonna be on this show. Jeez,
nope.
Like, that was
couldn't have saved that for SummerSlam. Jesus Christ.
No.
But you know what? I guess maybe that's what they want to do with Maxine. Make her the Sunny 90. I mean, she's not doing a bad job as a manager. I don't mind her being manager.
I will say she cut a promo on Monday that had me like yelling at the screen. She was trashing all the fans in LA. She said, "You can't handle this, the Vision, because you're all brokies." And I'm like, they ain't broke if they were able to afford to come to the show, Maxine. You got to watch your insults.
Especially in LA.
Right. Especially at Intuit.
The prices.
You ain't lying.
Know the audience, girl.
Know the audience.
The reason maybe Roman is getting the bloodline story again is this may be his last real run at the top of the company. Then Oba takes the reins. You would think this is just to roll out the red carpet for Oba to be the man. I think that's what they want to do, right? You would think.
If Oba collects
Oba.
If Oba collects Brock's head and then Roman's head, like, just give him his Hall of Fame ring now.
Right.
That's quite a red carpet.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I would think that's what they want to do. Otherwise, what are we doing with them? Like,
exactly.
Especially if he ends Brock retires and he ends Brock's career and then goes on to beat Roman. Like, forget about it. Like, he's made. He's that guy now. Yeah. Move over, Cody. We have a new QB1. Seriously.
Right.
And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, as much as I would like to keep this going, it is literally past midnight. So we're going to have to wrap this up. Thank you all so much for joining us.
No, don't run it back. I mean, wrap it up.
Yeah.
Sorry. Wrap it up, not run it back.
Thank you all so much for joining me. Big audience, even though it's late, it's 300 people watching us strong. And so we appreciate all of you for tuning in to us. So to all the new people, check out these amazing people as they do their live streams and reactions throughout the week. Matter of fact, Mark by Wrestling. Tell them where to find you, my friend.
Yes, please join me in Mark by Wrestling. I'm also on Instagram and TikTok, Mark by Wrestling, obviously. I'm still trying to build my hours so I can open up super chats on my channel. Hey. So every sub and every like is meant means the world to me. I have a lot of guest hosts on my channel. My wife and I do wrestling trivia. We've gone through the golden era, new generation era. We're in the middle of the attitude era right now. My brother and I do a retro series called Mount Rushmore Matches, where we recommend, and I even create playlists for you guys to watch of historical matches from certain people that you might have heard of their kids. For example, Brian Pillman was the last one we did. Alexis King's dad. Anyway, so we do that. I go live for NXT every week without fail. I'll be live this weekend too for SummerSlam. And on the big show weeks, I tend to do Raw and SmackDown too. But always NXT. We have a good time every Tuesday night. So if you ever want to know what you're missing with NXT, come sit with us, even if you're not watching it. And we can always catch you up on what's going on.
And A and B, tell them where to find you guys at.
Well, generally speaking, I will tell you, you will see us each and every week, Monday Night Raw, Wednesday Night Dynamite, TNA, for Thursday, Friday Night SmackDown, the big PLE, Saturday Night's Main Event. Now, we're in the middle of a move, so you don't see what's going on here. You see this lovely set, but what we see before us is a whole bunch of boxes.
Trying to build a clubhouse.
Judgment Day Clubhouse.
we are in the middle of a move, so we are not doing our normal Wednesday night and Thursday night right now. We're going to be going into a new space. We're going to be creating a new set, so it's going to see a little redesign. So that'll be coming very soon. But typically, that's where you will find us on social media. And once again, I want to thank just Alyx for allowing us to come onto his show, hosting this fantastic predictions. I want to thank Mark by Wrestling for just being the wrestling historian that he is. The man has a mind like a steel trap, and he knows more about professional wrestling than anybody alive today. Fight me if you want to. That's just a fact.
And we also review movies and shows. So you can also check out A&B Convos Reacts, which is our newest channel. So you could, we just dropped, what did we drop today? Supergirl's review.
Supergirl, yeah.
So yeah, you could check that out.
And before you guys go, quick shout out to the international champ who wants you guys to know anytime A&V, don't worry, my man, I will win one of y'all's titles on y'all channel.
Come on
over.
Noel Jimenez, we call him the ruler. And of course, he will be defending his belt against the kiss-stealing, willing-dealing son of a gun, the ultimate man, 3 Diglets, who unfortunately could not meet us tonight, but he will be live this weekend. It's going to be quite the weekend. I hope both of them show up on both of our channels because that's going to be wild. So, guys, don't miss any of this stuff. And, of course, this weekend, come back here for your SummerSlam Night 1 and Night 2 reviews. This is the whole package. I hope you check us all out. Description has all the links. Thank you all so much for being here. And of course, as you follow out, do all the YouTube things, like the video, subscribe, click the bell, catch all our content when it comes out. This is Just Alyx, Marked by Wrestling, and A&B Convo signing out right here. And Alyx is what the place that is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. Deuces.
When you're in my